After squandering a chance at their 7th win of the season last night at McKeon Park, the Harbor Hawks have a quick turnaround and another shot tonight at the hometown Chatham Anglers. On the bump, it's a couple of Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets towing the slab. For Hyannis, it'll be Jonathan Hughes making his second start on the Cape this summer, and he'll be opposed by Chatham hurler Luke Bartnicki, who's already taken down Hyannis once in 2019. It's the final matchup of 4 this season between the Harbor Hawks and the Anglers on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hi, everyone. Pleased to welcome you all into the broadcast tonight. Alongside Lyle Goldstein, I'm Brendan Howe. And from a hot Veterans Field, Lyle, tonight, Hyannis eyeing their 7th win of the season. They couldn't pull it out last night in a 6-3 defeat back at home at McKeon Park, and a tough one down the stretch.
Yeah, it was, and they were really in it just like opening night against Chatham. So both games that took place at McKeon Park between these two clubs went down to the wire. It just came down to a matter of Chatham getting the last laugh late. I mean, you look at the scorebook, and Chatham got 3 in the first 2 innings. Hyannis got 3 in the 6th and 7th combined. Of course, the 2 RBI double from Hunter Goodman looming large. But just a matter of not quite being able to close it out in the 9th inning as the Anglers put up 3 runs to eventually take the ball game 6-3. So the pitching was better last night, and Glenn Albanese turned in a start that kept his club in the ball game, which is all you can ask for. It's just going to be a matter of tonight of maybe the pitching being a little bit more crisp, minimizing a little bit more damage, and then again, the offense getting the bats started hot and early today, because early starts with the bats has led to a lot of success for this team.
Well, Colby Kubicek, the starter last night for Chatham, really took a toll on the Hyannis bats early on in the ball game last night, hence the reason why it took Hyannis so long to bounce back in that game. They eventually did, but ultimately fell 6-3. Let's look ahead to tonight, though, Lyle. Jonathan Hughes making his second start on the Cape this summer in a Hyannis uniform. What should we expect from the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket tonight in Chatham?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, he's had one start already. It was against the Bourne Ball Club where Hyannis did pull out the win, but Hughes in that game only went 2 innings. He's probably going to try to minimize the runners on the base pads a little bit. He gave up the 3 earned on the 6 hits, and he's got some stuff that can be pretty solid. He can strike some guys out. He struck some guys out pretty decently in his season at Georgia Tech. So probably just trying to build on his first start a little bit, get a little bit deeper into the ball game, and then just a bit more crisp as the second start goes on.
It's the 4th and final matchup of the season tonight between the Anglers and the Harbor Hawks here from a muggy Veterans Field. We'll have lineups and first pitch for you on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from Veterans Field in Chatham, it's the left-handed Georgia Tech product Luke Bartnicki warming up on top of the rubber for his hometown Chatham Anglers. Chad Gassman turns in a lineup tonight for Hyannis that goes like this. Jordan Westberg leads off and plays shortstop. Following him, Ian Fair at first. Jared DeSantolo in the 3 spot. Hunter Goodman doing the cleanup duties. Trevor Hopper out in left. Anthony Servideo at second. Chad McDaniel behind the plate. And the final 2 in the order, Jackson Olsen at third and Bryce Teodosio rounding out the 9 in center field. And quickly, while we have a moment before play gets underway, a quick look at the Chatham defense. Left to right in the outfield. Galileo in left, Hall in center, Cabanis in right, Villar at third, Ramirez at short, Morrill at second, and Wallace at first, with Smith behind the dish doing the catching for Luke Bartnicki as Jordan Westberg strides to the plate. Again, last night at McKeon Park, these same Chatham Anglers came into Hyannis and took one by the final score of 6-3, held on for their 16th win of the summer. They come in at 16-11-2, atop the leaderboard in the Eastern Division. Ahead of the YD Red Sox at 34 points as Bartnicki kicks and fires. Swing and a miss from Westberg on the first pitch of the ball game. We're underway. So Westberg, a .353 hitter. Trying to start things off on the right foot for Hyannis here from Chatham. Bartnicki's 0-1. Westberg swings in the air to right field, sending Cabanis back a couple steps. He's got a beat on it and makes the grab on the move. So Westberg, a couple of pitches and records the first out of the top of the first, and that'll bring up Ian Fair. So just some soft contact from Bartnicki, who's seen Hyannis once already this summer. Chatham picked up a win in that contest, 6-1. Bartnicki earned the win in that decision, went 3 2/3, 5-hit ball, allowing 1 run, walked 1 and struck out 4. As Fair watches a fastball outside, the count 1-0. The second and final trip of 2019 to Veterans Field for Hyannis. 1-0 to Fair, cut and swings and fouls it straight back off the screen. Hyannis tonight in their road blue tops with orange numbering and lettering, white trim, and the blue pinstripes going down the pants. Bartnicki into his motion, a 1-1. Fair cuts and misses through a high fastball to count 1-2. For Chatham, their home whites, pinstripes all the way down with blue trim and red numbering. 1-2 to Fair comes in. Swings and sends one in toward the alley to right field, falling fast and past Cabanis. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Fair around first. He's digging for second. The throw comes back into the second baseman, Morrill, and Fair is standing up with a 1-out double. So a good piece from Ian Fair to set things up for Jared DeSantolo with 1 down, and right away, Hyannis puts a runner in scoring position.
Well, for Ian Fair, that's his second extra base hit in as many days. He picked up his first of the season last night. And right there, just sprays it the other way, sees the ball deep, and punches one deep into the gap.
So Jared DeSantolo steps in, trying to stop a bit of a skid. His average has fallen down to .333, good for 4th on the Cape, however. He was in third place at the beginning of the week. He's got a chance for RBI number 5 on the season. First pitch from Bartnicki, a fastball upstairs at the letters, count 1-0. So for DeSantolo, not only 4th in average, but 2nd in on-base percentage, and he's been seeing lefties really, really well this summer. Trying to square up Bartnicki in his first plate appearance. 1-0 comes in. Fastball catches the outside corner to even the count. Fans still filing in as we speak here from Veterans Field in Chatham. Beautiful night for baseball, but one thing that stands out, it is a hot one. Temperatures muggy. They were in the 80s all afternoon long. Bartnicki fires a 1-1. Breaking ball. DeSantolo checked his swing, but a called strike nonetheless. The count 1-2. And DeSantolo went 0 for 4 last night and was named to the 2019 Cape League All-Star team. Trying to pick up an RBI with Fair at second and 1 down in the top of the first. Bartnicki offers it a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And DeSantolo retired for the second out of the top of the first inning, and that'll transition things over to Hunter Goodman, the RBI leader on the elbow of Massachusetts. He picked up RBIs 25 and 26 with a 2 RBI double last night. That brought Hyannis back in the ballgame. That made the score 3-2 at the time. He's got Ian Fair at second and a chance to just keep on swinging the bat. With 2 down in the first, he watches a fastball low, 1-0. Goodman on the season, a .264 hitter, so starting to climb that average up as well. Of course, the 5 home runs and the 26 ribbies. Swings at a 1-0 fastball and pops it up right side, drifting back and out of play. So for Goodman, the average may not be there, but the production all season long has been consistent. Looking to get Hyannis on the board first here from Veterans Field on the road. Farnicki couple checks to fair at second, now fires home. Fastball low, count 2-1. So for Bartnicki on the season, this is his first start. Made 5 appearances till this point. A 3-0 record and a 4.50 earned run average. A pause now, the 2-1 to Goodman. Fastball, Goodman pops it sky high on the infield, sending the first baseman Wallace back and into foul ground from ranging over Morrill, and he'll make the grab just behind the first base bag to end the inning. So Ian Fair laces a double into the alley, but Hyannis unable to bring him around. Still scoreless with Chatham coming to the plate for their first cuts on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jonathan Hughes to the hill for Hyannis in the bottom of the first inning with Chatham coming up to the plate. They'll send Caden Polkovich, Colin Hall, and Ben Ramirez to the dish in a scoreless ball game from Veterans Field. Hughes takes a walk behind the mound. He'll get back on to make his second appearance of the summer. His first one came July the 6th against the Bourne Braves. He went 2 innings in that contest, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits, trying to avenge that here tonight against these Chatham Anglers. Polkovich into the left-handed batter's box, takes a fastball at the knees, a called strike, it's 0-1. The rest of the Chatham lineup, Paxton Wallace, Cade Cabanis, and Brady Smith make up the middle third of the order, and the final 3, Anthony Villar, Kendrick Calalayo, and Houston Morrill. Breaking ball runs in the dirt all the way to the backstop past the catcher McDaniel, it's 1-1. He was into his motion, fires the next offering. Fastball popped up left side, up and over us and over the press box back toward the parking lot. Down a ball and 2 strikes to Polkovich. Picked up 2 hits last night. Scored a run and drove in an RBI as well. 1-2. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Hughes catches Polkovich looking. And he goes down for the first out for Chatham in their half of the first inning. First strikeout of the night for Hughes. And that'll transition things to Colin Hall at the number 2 spot. So Hughes locating that breaking ball well, painting the outside black. Didn't pick up a strikeout in his first outing against the Braves. So that's his first in a Cape League uniform. Colin Hall steps into the left-handed batter's box. First pitch to him. Fastball, chopper right side. Fair stabs it belt level, and he'll take it to the back himself. A 3 unassisted for the second out. So a quick 2 up, 2 down. And here comes Ben Ramirez.
Yeah, well, Hughes has looked good so far. I mean, look at the strikeout to Polkovich. That just froze him on the outer part of the plate. And then Hall just puts one softly on the ground to the right side. Fair chests it up. And Hughes has gotten a weak contact out and a punch out.
So Hughes looking to go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first inning as he drops in a breaking ball just a bit off the outer edge of the plate to Ramirez. The count 1-0. Chatham leads the season series 3-0, looking to make it a 4-game sweep over the Harbor Hawks. Hughes fires a 1-0. Fastball, big swing and a miss. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Paxton Wallace on deck in the cleanup spot should we get there. Hughes brings the glove in front of the face with the infield back, fires a 1-1. That one laced up the middle, a base hit. So Ramirez not playing around, sees a fastball and takes it right back up the middle past Servideo into center. So it's a 2-out base knock. That'll bring up Paxton Wallace. So Ramirez continuing to hit off these Harbor Hawks. He went 2 for 5 last night with an RBI. Continuing his hot stretch against the orange and blue. As Wallace digs in, playing first base tonight for Chatham, batting from the right side. He was out of the stretch for the first time tonight. Runner held on by Fair over at first. First pitch, a breaking ball, swing and a miss from Wallace over the top of it, 0-1. Wallace, a .244 hitter on the summer. Couple of long balls and 6 RBIs. Hughes set, peeks over the shoulder at first, fires in another breaking ball, swing and a miss from Wallace, count 0-2. So Hughes looking to make it a 1-2-3 inning, or not a, rather retire the side after the Ramirez single. Right-hander set the 0-2 pitch, breaking ball downstairs, couldn't entice Wallace to go after it. And the count resides at 1-2. Well, Lyle, this is your 8th trip here to Chatham, and boy, is this ballpark an absolute beauty. 1-2 from Hughes, fastball downstairs again, count levels.
And more fans packed than the last time Hyannis traveled here this year, and you're absolutely right. It's about as good as it comes ballpark-wise on Cape Cod. Some fans scattered out on the right center field hill. The bleachers behind home plate pretty much packed.
Hughes offers a 2-2, chopper left side, that one will get foul. I mean, it was breathtaking the first time we arrived here in Chatham in 2019, but this crowd, a large one on hand. You mentioned the spectators out on the hill, more than what we saw last time, and fans still continuing to file into the ballpark. Bleachers about 95% full. Hughes set his next 2-2 offering. Wallace spoils it away again, right side up and over everything back toward the playground. Wallace putting up a tough fight here against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket with 2 strikes. Wallace trying to extend the Chatham half of the first inning. Hughes is 2-2. Fastball, bounding ball toward first. Fair plays on the backhand. He'll flip to the covering. Hughes in time for the out, and that retires the side. So a single from Ben Ramirez, but Chatham unable to do anything with it. We're still scoreless. Top 2 coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis set to bring Trevor Hauver, Anthony Servideo, and Chad McDaniel to the plate in the top of the second inning from Veterans Field. Luke Bartnicki back for more in his second inning of work. Just one small blip on the radar. It was a 1-out double from Ian Fair, but he was able to work around it nicely, retiring the side on the next 2 hitters. So Trevor Hauver trying to get the bats going again for Hyannis as he watches a first pitch fastball in for a strike. It's 0-1. So Trevor bumped down a bit in the lineup tonight. A .224 hitter coming into action. It's been a rough go of it for the Sun Devil as of late. 0-1. Breaking ball way upstairs, brushing Hauver back a bit. Count evens a ball and a strike. And Hauver last night was able to pick up a base hit and walked once again. He has been an absolute on-base machine via walks. He waits for a 1-1. Breaking ball outside, but a called strike picking up the black. It's 1-2. So Hopper still remains tied at the top of the leaderboard in the walks category with Jamalo Gwynn, who is not in the lineup tonight for Chatham. Bartnicki into his windup, a 1-2. Breaking ball just a bit high over the top of the zone. Count levels 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, Hopper picked up his first base knock in a couple of contests last night against these Chatham Anglers. Trying to do the same here in his first plate appearance. He's got a 2-2 count against the southpaw Bartnicki. Pitch. Breaking ball called strike through in the outside corner. Second strikeout of the night for Bartnicki. He retires Hopper for the first out of the second inning. And here comes Anthony Servideo.
Yeah, he just flashed that breaking ball in the outside corner. Hopper gave a quick flinch at it and froze up. Bartnicki just turning that one over.
So Servideo steps in. Picked up an RBI to tie the ball game last night at McKeon Park. First pitch from Bartnicki. Servideo squares to bunt, pulls it back. A called strike at the knees, 0-1. And this is a Hyannis offense that scored just 8 runs in their last 4 contests. They picked up 1 win over that stretch. It was the 2-0 game against the Orleans Firebirds out at Eldridge Park. Fastball misses outside, count even 1-1. So Servideo 1 for 3 last night. Dad McDaniel set to follow the Ole Miss Rebel on deck. 1-1 from Bartnicki, breaking ball outside, 2-1. And these Harbor have had a busy Sunday to this point before arriving here in Chatham. The second annual Pizza Fest that the Hyannis Harbor Hawks hosted. 2-1 comes in. Breaking ball on the inside corner, evens the count 2-2. Nobody on, 1 down with Servideo at the plate. Bartnicki quickly back onto the rubber into his motion. 2-2 offering. Breaking ball just a bit off the plate. Servideo gave a hard take. That same pitch rung up Hopper just a couple moments ago. But Servideo has run the count full 3-2. Trying to get aboard and start something in the Hyannis second inning. Bartnicki winds and fires. Fastball downstairs, and he walks Servideo. So Anthony works a 1-out walk, and Chad McDaniel steps in.
Now, Servideo, that's a walk in back-to-back games now. Back-to-back plate appearances if you date back to last night for him. Just a guy who knows how to get on base and work counts. That's what he does right there against Luke Bartnicki.
Well, Hyannis, a team 4th in walks as a ball club. Racked up 98 on the season. But the team in first place, the team that's in the field right now, these Chatham Anglers, a check on Hopper, or Servideo rather, he's back safely. Chatham as an offense has drawn 130 free passes right on the nose. Bartnicki stares down McDaniel, comes home. McDaniel swings and pops up a fastball right side, drifting back and out of play. So now for Hyannis, as we move down the stretch here in late July and toward the end of the Cape Cod League regular season. We were scoreboard watching a little bit last night, Lyle, and to do that a bit early on here tonight from Chatham. Bourne is currently on top of the Harwich Mariners out at White House Field. That's a score of 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning. Another check on Servideo. He's back standing up. So if Bourne hangs on to win that game, they would up their point total to 22 on the season, and that would mean that Hyannis, if they can't pull this one out in Chatham, will lose a bit more ground. Bartnicki set, comes home with a 0-1. No throw down to second as Servideo was off with the pitch. He gets in standing up easily. So no problem for the Ole Miss Rebel to advance into scoring position. McDaniel at the plate, a 1-1 count, 1 down. And now a chance to pick up RBI number 6 on the season. Third baseman Villar playing a bit behind the bag. Middle infielders at double play depth. And now McDaniel swings and sends one, a liner to right field, but right at Hyannis, who retires him for the second out of the inning. Back to second base, Servideo, and here comes Jackson Olsen with 2 away.
McDaniel squared that one up. That ball had some spin on it too, tailing toward the line, but Hyannis played it no problem, just having to come a couple steps in.
So Jackson not in the lineup last night, getting the nod here tonight from Chad Gassman. Playing third base and batting 8th, a 275 clip for him. He's got Anthony Servideo 180 feet away from giving Hyannis the lead. First pitch from Bartnicki, missed high and away, 1-0. Last time we saw Jackson was July the 11th at Orleans as part of that 2-0 win. He went 0 for 4 in that game. Trying to rebound here tonight. 1-0 comes in, fastball low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to the Hartford product. And for these Harbor Hawks, it's all about just finding ways to get base runners on and win some ball games. 6-20-1 is the record coming into tonight in Chatham. The 2-0 on the way. Fastball, Olsen chops at it and sends it foul behind the dish as it trickles into foul territory. It's 2-1. Bryce Teodosio, another new insert from last night into the lineup, loosening up on deck. Hoping for a chance here in the top of the second inning. Hyannis with a miniature threat against the southpaw Bartnicki with a man in scoring position, and a 2-1 count here to Olsen. Bartnicki set, kicks, and turns back to Servideo at second and watches him back to the bag. Bartnicki brings the glove at the chest, a couple checks to second, now comes home. Olsen offers it a fastball in the dirt, count levels at 2-2. Bartnicki fooled him a bit there, trying to go out of the zone, got Olsen to go after it. So the Yellow Jacket one pitch away from working out of the top of the inning and getting his Anglers bats back to the plate. The pitch, Olsen chops it foul left side, dribbler toward the Anglers dugout, foul. And for Jackson, picked up a hit in 6 straight appearances from June the 29th to July the 7th. It was only that July 11th contest against Orleans where he fell short of reaching base. 2-2 from Bartnicki comes in. Fastball just off the end of the bat, foul off the dish and behind the legs of the catcher, Smith. So Olsen staying alive by an eyelash. Servideo retreats back to the bag at second, walking slowly. Deuce is wild with the man on for Hyannis. Olsen putting up a tough fight here with 2 strikes. Bartnicki comes home. Olsen swings, sends one on the ground. A short dribbler to Morrill at second. Flips to first, in time, inning over. So Bartnicki able to induce some ground ball contact to get Olsen and retire the side. Hyannis strands 1 in the inning. Still scoreless with the Anglers coming back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Cade Cavanis, Brady Smith, and Anthony Villar to the plate for Chatham in the second inning against the right-hander Jonathan Hughes. A couple of Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket arms going at it tonight, and a scoreless ball game from Veterans Field. Cavanis stepping in for the first time tonight here in the second against the right-hander on the hill. A 156 hitter, swing and a miss through a first pitch breaking ball, count 0-1. Cavanis also picked up a base hit last night. Hughes from the windup in 0-1. High breaking ball stayed at the letters, count even. So for Chatham, an offense that has been up and down over the course of the season. As Hughes fires a 1-1. Fastball inside. 2 balls and a strike to Cavanis. Talked about a little bit earlier, first in walks with 130, but 9th in team average at 234. So a team that stays very, very patient at the plate. As Hughes offers a 2-1. Cavanis chops one down the first baseline, racing toward it fair to the bag himself in time for the out. And there's one away. So that'll bring up Brady Smith. A But to get back to the Chatham offense for just a second, 4th in total runs scored with 130 as well. So even with that same number in walks, 7th in hits. So a team that's been very sporadic offensively. And before last night in the 6-3 win at McKeon Park, they went winless in their last 4 tries previous. A team that's looking to get back on track. As a fastball from Hughes misses outside to the new hitter Brady Smith, 1-0. That one coming in at 91 miles an hour on the gun. Brady Smith, a new insert into the lineup for Chatham tonight as he watches a breaking ball that runs away. He's worked himself ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. So for as sporadic as this Chatham offense has been, they've gotten the best of Hyannis this season. As Hughes offers a 2-0 fastball just off the outside corner. McDaniel trying to give him the frame, but instead to no avail. It's 3-0. Chatham leads the season series 3-0, and they've outscored Hyannis 17-9 in those 3 contests. Hughes, 3-0 pitch. Get me over. Fastball down Main Street for a strike to run the count to 3-1 on Smith. Anthony Villar set to follow. But Chatham trying to get back on the right foot as the YD Red Sox have crept up closer in the Eastern Division. They sit just 2 points behind these Anglers. Hughes is 3-1. Breaking ball just a bit high, and he walked him. So there's the walks from Chatham, staying patient at the plate as Brady Smith is able to draw a free pass. And that'll give things over to Anthony Villar.
Well, Hughes just lost him there as hitter reaches base with 1 down, but Jonathan's looked pretty good so far. Again, a couple soft pieces of contact to Ian Fair. He's been fairly busy so far tonight, responsible for 3 putouts. And now Hughes has the double play in depth, so one benefit with the runner on first base.
So Hughes out of the stretch again. First pitch to Villar, a breaking ball on the inside corner, a called strike. Runner Brady Smith back to first. Was pun intended on that? You said Fair's been fairly busy at first.
Oh, actually, no. But now that you say it, that's an easy one to kind of stumble across.
We walked into it. 0-1. Breaking ball upstairs at the letters. Count evens a ball and a strike. You've done that a few times this season. You've run into some puns.
I said a new hope for Arajanu in Chatham when he hit the home run.
That one was planned. That was definitely planned.
That one was. I'll give you that one.
Hughes out of the stretch, a 1-1. Breaking ball up high again. McDaniel out of the crouch and to his left to go get it. 2 balls and a strike to Anthony Villar. I got to get on my A game with the jokes. Not really coming so fluently. Villar waves the bat toward the right-hander. Brady Smith off the bag at first. A 2-1. Fastball on the ground, right side. To his left, Servideo to second for 1. Westberg, the throw was a bit low and tripped up by the runner Smith as he went sliding into him. So no return throw back to first, and Villar beats it out. But they do retire the lead runner and Brady Smith at the bag at second. So 2 down in the inning now for Kendrick Galileo.
You know, Servideo makes a nice play, and he gets the force out, too. Not an easy throw moving to his left, but quickly turns his body. Strong throw off his back leg. Enough time to get to Westberg covering the bag at second.
So Galileo digs in. The left fielder tonight for Chatham. He's got a runner aboard at first, but 2 away. He was looking to work a quiet second inning as he misses with a breaking ball wide. So 1 ball and no strikes. This game taking a bit of a different path than what we saw last night. Chatham struck early on in the ball game for 3 runs, and it stayed that way for a while as Colby Kubicek was absolutely phenomenal. 1-0. Galileo offers at a fastball and sends it straight back down the hill toward the parking lot. That's going to continue to roll. I think I parked far enough away where that one, I'm out of danger for that foul ball. And you provided a great suggestion upon arrival here today in Chatham that foul balls do reach the parking lot pretty frequently. 1-1. Runner takes out for second. The pitch was high. Throw down from McDaniel's going to take a hop. Slap tag applied, not in time. So Westberg falling to his backside, trying to apply the tag to Villar, but not in time. So Chatham advances a runner into scoring position, and the count sits at 1-2 to Galileo.
You know, McDaniel got to his feet quickly on that. Throw was a little bit low to Servideo, and because it took that hop, it allowed the runner Galileo to slide just in under the tag. It was a close play, but he got that right foot under.
The Chatham left fielder resets himself in the right-handed batter's box with a chance for an RBI and 2 down. Hughes set, comes home, swing and a miss, strike 3. Hughes drops in a breaking ball in the Cali Loud of Phantom as he swings over the top of it. Chatham strands a runner in scoring position. And we're still locked in a tie ball game, 0 apiece. Here from Veterans Field, Hyannis back to the plate in the top of the third when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hyannis will send their 9-1-2 hitters to the plate to begin the top of the third from Veterans Field, as the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Luke Bartnicki's back on the mound for inning number 3. Clemson center fielder Bryce Teodosio is going to work his way into the right side of the box. Bryce didn't get the start last night, his first at bat here tonight, as the lefty Bartnicki kicks and fires the offering, swinging a foul off the glove of the catcher Smith. It gets behind the plate. So Bartnicki's given up just 1 hit. On the other side, his college teammate Jonathan Hughes has given up just 1 hit for Hyannis. So a pair of Yellow Jackets going at it tonight from Veterans Field for separate summer ball clubs. Pitch, breaking ball or off speed low. That moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryce comes into the day hitting 163, 3 runs batted in. As Luke Bartnicki, the lefty, gets the sign, delivers, and it's down low, 2 balls, 1 strike. And Bartnicki wearing 2 different colored cleats on the mound. His left foot sporting a red cleat, a lighter shade of red at that. And then on the right foot, he's sporting some white and blue cleat, as time's called, as he's going to have a meeting with Brady Smith.
And you know, Lyle, I noticed that, and I think last time that Bartnicki took the hill against Hyannis, he had those same cleats on. It must be a superstition or something, you'd have to think. Definitely an odd tendency.
And sometimes you'll see it with NFL kickers, or more often than not, you can see it with NFL kickers, but not so often pitchers. Although Bartnicki is clearly working for him so far, as through 2 innings, he's thrown 2 scoreless frames, just giving up the 1 hit. As Teodosio stepped into the grass well beyond the right side of the batter's box as the meeting went on. Now he's going to make his way back to the plate. And Bryce, a kid with some power, no doubt about that. Yet to hit his first home run in Hyannis this summer. He's got a 2-1 count. Bartnicki gets the sign, rocks and deals. Just low. 3-1 the count goes. That was a fastball at 89 miles an hour, missing a bit low. Bryce, 9 home runs in his season at Clemson. 17 extra base hits at that. Now the 3-1. Swing and a line drive deep right center field. Back goes Hall. He's at the track looking up at 1, hops the fence. Teodosio motoring around first. He's thinking 2. He hits the brakes right there. And just like that, it's a leadoff double for the Clemson Tiger.
Off the bat, that was an absolute laser shot over Hall's head into the wall in deep center field. Deepest part of the ballpark here at Veterans. Now Teodosio, if he can get the bat going, look out, because we already know about the defense. And that's been unbelievable in and of itself. So if he can get the bat swinging the same way, oh, man.
And that ball was squared up. There was no doubt about it. Hall immediately racing back. Didn't have any type of play at it. And it 1 hop the blue fence out in center field, as it'll flip the lineup back to the top for Jordan Westberg. Well, Westberg looking to re-get himself going. 0 for 1 so far tonight. As Bartnicki, the stretch comes home. Off speed, called strike at the knees. So, of course, Westberg got off to that unbelievable start. 12 for his first 20 with the 5 extra base hits, 3 of them home runs. He's now looking to break an 0 for 16. Teodosio, short lead off a second, creeping in Ben Ramirez, the shortstop, now moving back. Bartnicki, the 0-1, swinging a ground ball left side, fielded on a hop by Villar, looks back to second, fires across, and Westberg's retired. So Jordan Westberg puts together a 5-3 putout. It's the first out for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the third, and it'll bring things to Ian Fair. So Fair doubled in his first at bat. His teammate Bryce Teodosio stands at second after his leadoff double in the third. So a pair of hits for Hyannis so far, both of them coming on 2-baggers. One from Teodosio, who stands at second, one from Fair, who stands in the right side of the box. Bartnicki looks back to second. Teodosio moving back with no problem. And Fair's going to tap the plate a couple times. 0-0 score in the top of the third inning. Sun continuing to set beyond the left field trees at Veterans Field. Pitch from Bartnicki. Misses away. 1-0 the count to the northeastern first baseman. The Teodosio really hit that ball on the button as that one hopped the wall. And he was talking about earlier today, he said, I'm trying to get one out tonight. Of course, not a whole lot of wind blowing at Veterans. Bartnicki comes home with the 1-0, called strike in the count 'll level. Really no wind blowing at all. The American flag in dead center field sitting dead still behind the 385 sign. So if Bryce is going to get one out tonight, it'll be all natural juice from the right-handed hitter. 1-1 from Bartnicki. Swing and a miss from Fair. Ball gets in and out of the glove of the catcher, Smith, and Teodosio is going to move down to third base. So Bryce awarded an additional free 90 feet. Hyannis' first potential run now stands 90 feet away from scoring. So Bartnicki gets the baseball, walks back to the mound. He's got a 1-2 count with 2 away. Fair looking to pick up his second RBI of the summer. He scored a run last night where he also doubled against the A's. Bartnicki sets at the letter high level, stretching the 1-2. Swing and a pop-up foul, right side out of play. That'll get toward the playground over the snack shack. So Bryce stands at third, Ian the hitter. As the right-handed hitting first baseman has that back elbow bent, looking in at the pitcher Bartnicki, who fires home. Ground ball left side, fielded by Villar. He's going to look home, but just throw over to first, and Fair's retired. But an RBI ground out plates the first run of the day for Hyannis, and it's 1-0 Harbor Hawks in the top of the third. So the infield was playing back. Villar well behind the bag at third, and the ground ball to the left side from the hitter Ian Fair did the job no problem. Teodosio trotted home from third. Fair picks up his second RBI of the summer. And now with nobody on and 2 away, it brings up Jared DeSantolo. Pitch from Bartnicki up high. DeSantolo struck out swinging back in his first at bat. Lefty-lefty matchup as the FAU Owl looks in at the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, who fires home, swing and a miss. DeSantolo yesterday 0 for 4 with a trio of strikeouts. And he was the second punch-out victim for each different pitcher last night. Second for Kubicek, second for Vernon, second for Fisher. Now the 1-1 from the lefty Bartnicki catches the bottom of the zone, and it's 1-2. That comes in at 87 miles an hour from the Yellow Jacket. And the FAU Owl DeSantolo has himself at a 1-2 count with 2 away. 1-0 Hyannis the score. Bartnicki ready with the offering. Line drive foul off the screen just to the left of home plate. So DeSantolo has hit and hit and hit all summer. But a trio of strikeouts last night, 1 tonight. Looking to get things going at Veterans Field. Now the 1-2. Down low, and the count evens up at 2 apiece. And again, no knock on Jared at all, of course. He's still 4th in the Cape League in average. He's still going to the All-Star game, of course. Him along with Hunter Goodman, who stands on deck, as well as right-handed pitcher Tyler Madison, who resides inside the Harbor Hawk dugout as we speak, down the first base line. 2-2. Swinging a ground ball foul over by the first base coaching box. So Goodman awaits on deck if we get there. The infield playing back with a 2-2 count, 2 down to DeSantolo. Bartnicki in his third inning of work at 53 pitches. As the lefty works from the windup, kicks and delivers the 2-2. Ground ball to the right side, moving to his left. Morrill fields cleanly, flips to first, and that'll end the inning. Hyannis gets their first run across, and they strike first in the top of the third inning with the RBI ground out from Ian Fair. And for the Harbor Hawks in the inning as a whole, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's Hyannis 1, Chatham 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham coming to the plate in the bottom of the third against Georgia Tech right-hander Jonathan Hughes, back to the mound for inning number 3 of his evening. He'll face the 9-1-2 of Houston Morrill, Caden Polkovich, and Colin Hall. He rocks and deals the first pitch, a fastball for a called strike on the outer half the plate. It's 0-1 to the Oklahoma State Cowboy Huey Morrill. Making his first at bat, last angler to come to the plate today. As Hughes is ready, offering, misses up high, count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Morrill comes into the day hitting just 111. He's really looking to jumpstart his summer a little bit. As the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Jonathan Hughes sets at the letters, fires home, swing and a miss. Fastball pumped in at 91 miles an hour, runs the count to 1-2. Hyannis leading by 1. The RBI ground out to third from Ian Fair scored Bryce Teodosio to give the Harbor Hawks the 1-0 advantage. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third punch out of the night for the righty Jonathan Hughes as he fans Huey Morrill, and that'll flip the lineup back to the top for Caden Polkovich. So Hughes has looked really sharp early on. He's now going to face the Chatham lineup for the second time around. We'll see how he fares. Pitch to Polkovich, called strike off speed, and it's 0-1. Polkovich struck out looking in his first at bat, and a pretty quick dismissal as well. 0-1. Fastball in, and the count levels. So Polkovich had what ended up being the game-winning RBI last night. An RBI double in the top of the 9th inning gave Chatham their 4th run, which would be the decider, as he squiggles one on a line foul left side, and it gets over by the Chatham dugout. And for Polkovich, that was 2 straight nights he'd done that. An RBI single against YD now 2 nights ago to tie a game, and then the game-winning RBI double last night. 1-2 from Hughes, ground ball left side, moving to his left. Servideo fields cleanly, fires over to first, and there's 2 away. So Polkovich retired for the 2nd time tonight, and with 2 away for Jonathan Hughes, it'll bring up a former Harbor Hawk, Colin Hall, out of Georgia Tech. So how about the connection between these two? Of course, the 2 starting pitchers tonight are teammates. Jonathan Hughes, Luke Bartnicki, both attending Georgia Tech for their school ball. Much like Colin Hall, who's set to dig in. In fact, his father, Danny Hall, the head coach of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. As Hughes is ready to fire home out of the windup, misses low, and it's 1-0. So Colin Hall, a former Harbor Hawk, now playing his 2nd summer on the Cape, this time with the Chatham Anglers. As Hughes is ready, fires home the 1-0, swinging a foul back. But for Jonathan Hughes, again, who is a teammate at Georgia Tech of Colin Hall's, he's making his first appearance on Cape Cod this summer, last summer in the Coastal Plain League. The pitch in, misses up high with a breaking ball that didn't quite break, and it's 2-1. So these 2 sure have a lot in common when it comes to baseball. Facing off tonight at Veterans Field, as the righty Hughes works from the windup in the first base side. Fires home, line drive into left field. Hover comes in, it drops in front of him. Hall hits the bag at first hard. He hits the brakes right there and will retreat back to the bag. But Chatham picks up their second hit of the night, courtesy of Colin Hall, as it'll shift things to Ben Ramirez. So Hughes gives up an opposite field slap shot for a single. Now it'll bring up the hitter Ben Ramirez out of the number 3 spot. This will force Hughes back to the stretch. Ramirez, the left-handed hitting shortstop from USC. Hughes sets right at the letter high level. Fires home, swing and a miss from Ben Ramirez. Hughes already with 3 strikeouts tonight. He's flashed his fastball breaking ball combo a lot. He's going to get the sign. Gives a peek at the runner at first. That's Colin Hall. Fires home. Ground ball hits softly to the left side. Westberg charges in, throws off his back foot to fair in time. That ends the bottom of the third. A 2-out single from Colin Hall keeps him stranded on the base paths, and Chatham couldn't muster up anything else. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. And through 3 innings of play, it's Hyannis 1, Chatham nothing. We'll go to the top of the 4th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis sends up their 4, 5, 6 to the plate, the middle of the order of Hunter Goodman, Trevor Hover, and Anthony Servideo. As Luke Bartnicki, the Georgia Tech left-handers, back to the mound for inning number 4. Goodman steps to the plate. 0 for 1 so far today. He popped out to second. Pitch, off-speed low, and the count goes to 1 ball, no strikes. Bartnicki's only given up the 1 walk today. That was to Servideo, who has no problem drawing a lot of walks. Bartnicki winds and fires the 1-0. Fly ball, deep left field. Back goes Callie Lau, and it 1 hops the wall. Goodman around first. He's thinking 2. Throw comes in. It's cut off well in the outfield by Ben Ramirez. And Hunter Goodman makes it his 2nd double in as many nights as the Memphis Tigers aboard with nobody down in the top of the 4th inning.
And the ball just sounds different off his bat, doesn't it? I mean, every time he squares something up, you think it might have a chance to get out. That one, no different. That one came hard off the bat. It was on a line to deep left field. It 1 hop the wall, and Goodman cruises, no problem into scoring position.
So Goodman absolutely laced that baseball. You're right, Brendan. It just sounds different off his bat. It really, really does. Trevor Hover now the hitter. Hitting from the left side. Left fielder out of Arizona State. So far struck out looking today. Bartnicki the stretch and delivery. Off-speed misses away. But Hunter Goodman, man, does this kid have some power. 5 home runs on the season. His 26 RBIs lead the Cape. And his 5 bombs are tied for 3rd. Pitch to Hover. Down low with a heater. It's 2 balls, no strikes to the Sun Devil. Now, Goodman was tied for 2nd in the home run category. But Nico Cavadas last night, of the Harwich Mariners, 3 home runs in the course of one game. He now leads the Cape in home runs hit. That was last night out at Spillane Field against the Wareham Gatemen. 3 for 4, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. So Hauver, the hitter, now with a 2-0 count. Bartnicki's going to check the runner. Goodman at second, come home. Foul ball out of play from Hauver on the left side. It hits off a light post. And you know, Brendan, that just seems to be a little bit of a trend with some of these top home run hitters on the Cape. Now, Goodman hasn't had a multi-home run game yet. But Nico Cavadas, who now again sits as the leader, 3 home run game last night. Austin Wells, who was the home run leader, had a 3 home run game within the first couple weeks of the season. Bartnicki, now the 2-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and it runs to 2-2. So maybe Goodman's due for one.
And that would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, it would put Hyannis up in this ball game, certainly in a spot where they need to rack up some wins. And Goodman has been there time and time again when necessary.
Once again, his 26 RBIs lead the Cape. Coming into today, it led by 4. 2-2 to Hauver. Swing and a miss at an off-speed strike 3. Luke Bartnicki makes it his 3rd strikeout of the night, the 2nd time he's punched out Trevor Hauver. And there's one away for Anthony Servideo. So Servideo will dig into the box. He hasn't recorded an official at-bat today as he walked his first time around. He now has 13 walks on the summer, so a couple of these Hyannis hitters can really work some good counts. Bartnicki ready with the first offering. Breaking ball up high. It gets away from the glove of the catcher, Smith, but not too far, as Goodman won't advance from second. So Trevor Hauver tied for first on the Cape League in walks, as we mentioned last night. Him and Jamal O'Gwyn in a little two-way battle themselves, although Jamal O'Gwyn not in the lineup for Chatham tonight, so Hauver's got a little bit of an edge there. Jared DeSantolo on the summer has 16 walks. That's tied for 5th. And then Servideo with that second inning base on balls now has 13. Bartnicki steps off the mound. Goodman back to second base. And the count will stay at 1-0 to the Ole Miss Rebel. But Brendan talked about Chatham's ability to draw walks as well. And it's clear from their team on base percentage as the left-hander Bartnicki comes set into the stretch, fires home the 1-0. Fastball catches the outside corner. Now it's 1-1. Chatham's team average comes into the day at .234 as a ball club. That ranks 9th in Cape Cod, but their on-base percentage all the way up at .342. That's good for 5th. So they draw a lot of walks as a ball club. Pitch to Servideo, breaking ball in the dirt, smothered by the catcher, Smith. And Goodman will not advance from second base. To reiterate it one more time, like Brendan said earlier, 130 walks from the Chatham Ball Club as an offense. That was coming into tonight's play. Servideo, the bat just in front of his left shoulder. Pitch from Bartnicki. Down low, and the count moves to 3 balls, 1 strike. The Anglers have 1 walk tonight from Brady Smith, so 131 in total. But Servideo now with a 3-1 count, 1 away. Goodman stands at second base. Hyannis leading 1-0 in the top of the 4th frame. Bartnicki sets at the letters, fires home. Swing and another foul right side. 3-2 the count to the Rebel. The Yellow Jacket Bartnicki looking for strikeout number 4. He waits outside the box. He'll take half a practice swing toward the mound. Now taps the plate twice, grabs the front of his jersey. And Goodman gets a short lead at second with Ben Ramirez creeping in right behind him. The Bartnicki checks Goodman at second. Payoff pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. 4th strikeout for Luke Bartnicki. Make it back-to-back here in the top of the 4th. And with 2 away, it'll bring up the switch-hitting catcher, Chad McDaniel. The McDaniel today 0 for 1. He lined out to Cade Cabanis in right field. Only switch hitter in the lineup tonight for Hyannis. Rowdy Jordan can also hit from both ways, but he's getting a night off. Goodman stands at second after the leadoff double. Then swinging strikeouts from Trevor Hauver and Anthony Servideo have put 2 out on the board. Pitch from Bartnicki. Misses up high, 1-0. So for Bartnicki, this is his 6th appearance of the summer. His first as a start. Although that's not to say he hasn't been stretched out this summer. He's thrown 14 innings to this point in 5 different appearances. He's gone multi-innings all but one time. 1-0. Line drive right at the shortstop, Ramirez. He makes the backhanded snag, and it'll end the inning. So McDaniel squares one up for the second time in as many tries, but once again, it finds a Chatham glove. Ramirez makes the catch to end the inning. And for Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on after the Hunter Goodman leadoff double. Through 3.5, it's Hyannis 1, Chatham nothing. We'll be back for the bottom of the 4th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Paxton Wallace, the Wichita State first baseman, set to come to the plate from the right side to begin the bottom of the 4th. The Anglers will send up their 4-5-6 to the plate against the righty Jonathan Hughes. He's back for inning number 4. As he gets the sign, fires home, fastball high, a little bit of a check swing from Wallace, but no appeal down to first. It's 1-0. Wallace grounded out to Ian Fair at first base back in his first at bat in the bottom of the 1st, where Fair flipped to Hughes covering the bag. 1-0, swinging a foul right side. That'll get well out of play toward the Little League baseball field that resides just to the right of Veterans. But Hughes has looked really sharp thus far. Only 2 hits allowed. Now he's ready with the 1-1. Ground ball left side through the 5-6 gap, a base hit. So right on cue, Paxton Wallace picks up his 3rd hit of the night, or his 1st hit of the night, the 3rd for Chatham. And that'll bring up Cade Cabanis. The Cabanis also grounded out to Ian Fair at first base, although that one was an unassisted putout. Hughes gets a new baseball up on the mound. He's now going to work back to the stretch with a runner aboard after the Paxton Wallace single. Cabanis, Oklahoma State outfielder, standing at 6'4", 223 pounds, so a sizable frame. Hughes fires home. Number up the middle. Nobody can get there. It gets through the hole, a base hit. Teodosio up with the ball, flips it back into the infield, but the Anglers put together back-to-back hits in the bottom of the 4th. As Cabanis just fisted one off the handle of the bat, sounded like it might have broke the wood, but gets up the middle, past the mound. Neither Servideo or Westberg could get there, and it skipped into center field, giving Chatham their strongest rally so far of the night.
Well, this is a good start for the Anglers, but the good news for Hughes is that they're both singles. If he can keep Chatham to short base hits, he'll be just fine going forward. Just all about location and getting a couple of outs to get out of this jam.
So now that brings up Florida catcher Brady Smith, hitting right-handed, as he flips his blue piece of wood out toward Jonathan Hughes on the mound once. Now he's going to square to bunt. Pitch. He pops it in the air on the infield. A diving catch by Hughes. He gets to his feet, and no throw back to first. But what an athletic play from the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. Jonathan Hughes comes off the mound, makes the dive on the first base line in the dirt, flat out, full extension, and takes the baseball off the ground for the first out of the inning. He made himself look like a shortstop right there.
Who says pitchers aren't athletes? Are you kidding me? That was unbelievable. That's about as quick a reaction I've ever seen from a pitcher. Hughes right on his delivery, getting off the rubber and toward the first baseline. As you mentioned, the full extension dive to complete the grab. Wow, what a play.
Helping himself out a little bit, to say the least. Getting his jersey dirty, no problem. So one away. That's going to shift things to Anthony Villar. But man, what a play from Jonathan Hughes. First offering, called strike on an off speed.
I mean, who has the quicker jump, Hughes or Teodosio?
That was unbelievable. And we've seen Bryce make a couple spectacular catches. I don't know if the Hughes one can quite top either one that Bryce has had this summer, but it's not far off. 0-1. In the dirt, chested up by McDaniel. It skips out in front of him, no advancement. But yeah, you sometimes don't see a reaction like that from infielders, from middle infielders. I mean, that was such quick reflex as he had off the mound. Then he gave a dead sprint over to the first base line to his left and made a full extension like he was an outfielder. So it's 0-1, or rather, 1-1 with one away. Pitch from Hughes. Ground ball foul off the bricks behind the backstop. 1-0 Hyannis to score in the bottom of the fourth. Chatham threatening the most they have so far tonight. They've got two on. Back-to-back singles to start the inning from Paxton Wallace and Cade Cabanis. As Jordan Westberg's creeping in on the runner at second, Wallace. He's got a short lead. But Westberg playing up the middle. Servideo right about at his normal spot. Pitch. Fouled back off the netting. Count will stay at 1-2. That fastball pumped in at 91 from Jonathan Hughes. For Hughes, a former second-round draft pick. He was drafted really, really high in the 2015 draft, taken 68th overall by the Baltimore Orioles. As he checks the runner at second, comes home. Breaking ball high and away, and the count moves to 2-2. He opted not to sign, despite a very, very impressive high school career. A perfect game, third-team All-American in his high school time. 222 strikeouts in his career, where he played his high school ball at Flowery Branch. Instead, he opted to go to Georgia Tech. Here he is making his summer on the Cape. Pitch to Villar, fouled off to the left and off the netting again, just beside the Chatham dugout. And it's funny for Hughes, this is his second start of the summer. He only made one start all season in 2019. It came in his first appearance against Bradley, went only 2 innings. 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts there. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Villar punches out for the first time tonight. The 4th strikeout for Jonathan Hughes. And there's 2 away with 2 on for Kendrick Kalilau. So right after Hughes made the acrobatic diving catch on the pop-up bunt from Brady Smith, he punches out his 4th hitter. And now he's just 1 pitch away from getting out of some damage. Kalilau already struck out swinging today. That was his only at bat. Hughes gets the sign. And he steps off the mound. Back to first base, the runner Brady Smith. So Hughes looking in at the hitter, Kendrick Kalilau from Florida. Wiggles the bat above his right shoulder. Pitch from Hughes. Swing and a high pop-up first base side into foul ground. Fair drifting back toward the fence to his left, reaches out, but it's out of play, and it gets into the crowd down the first base line. So Kalilau's going to get new life as he's going to walk back from the first base line over to the right side of the box. It's an 0-1 count with 2 away. Hyannis still leading 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. So for Hughes in his season at Georgia Tech, he went 9-2. He racked up a lot of wins in his season with the Yellow Jackets. In fact, that was first on the team. But he made 26 appearances in ERA, just over 5. Put together a nice start so far here tonight. Now he's ready with the 0-1. Down low, past the glove of the catcher, McDaniel. Each runner is going to advance 90 feet. Smith down to third, or rather Wallace down to third. Hyannis up to second. And 2 runners for Chatham are in scoring position with 2 away. So once again, as Hughes will get a new baseball. Wallace led off the inning with a single. Hyannis followed him with a broken bat single up the middle. Then Brady Smith popped up on a bunt, exclamated by an unbelievable diving catch from Jonathan Hughes. And then he struck out Anthony Villard just a batter ago. Now Callie Lau, the hitter. 2 in scoring position, 2 down. Pitch, breaking ball at the top of the zone, called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Hughes threw 25 1/3 innings in his freshman year, 16 2/3, or rather in his first season, 25 1/3, 16 2/3 in his second season, 53 in 2019. 1-2, swinging a high pop-up into short right field. This takes Servideo back. Goodman coming in, Servideo calling everybody off, however, and he makes the grab, moving back into his left to end the inning. So Jonathan Hughes escapes some potential damage in the bottom of the 4th. 2 in scoring position, but nothing further. For Chatham, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the top of the 5th. It's Hyannis 1, Chatham nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Hyannis set to send up Jackson Olson, Bryce Teodosio, and Jordan Westberg to the plate in the top of the 5th inning here in a 1-0 ball game from Veterans Field. Chatham has gone to the bullpen. It's Arizona State Sun Devil R.J. Dabovich onto the hill, the second arm of the evening for Chatham. And before play resumes here in the 5th, there's going to be a meeting on the hill between Smith and the right-hander. Now, Dabovich entering his outing tonight, his 6th appearance on Cape Cod, his 3rd in relief. Has an ERA of 3 flat. He's gone 12 innings, walked 3 and struck out 15 while surrendering 11 hits. And Jackson Olson steps in 0 for 1 on his evening, looking to launch the 4th hit of the night against Dabovich on the hill. The pitching has really come to the forefront here as we enter the middle frames from Chatham. First pitch, a fastball high, goes all the way to the backstop and clanking off the padding that protects the brick wall. Ball and no strikes to Jackson. Bounced out to Morrill at second base his first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. But how about Jonathan Hughes for Hyannis on the hill for the Harbor Hawks tonight? He's been absolutely magnificent to this point against the Chatham lineup that can and will pose a threat. And right now, Jackson Olson in the left-handed batter's box, spinning the bat toward the mound a couple times. Dabovich set, kicks and fires home. Fastball in the dirt, count 2-0. And Lyle, tonight, the trends have been flipped a little bit. It was the offense that had come to the forefront of a couple of games over the past couple of weeks for Hyannis, but now it's the pitching that's been slotted into the driver's seat. A 1-0 ball game and a pitcher's duel here tonight from Chatham. The Anglers have gone to the bullpen. Hyannis trying to strike again. Olson watches a fastball, catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-1.
And both sides have been really good so far. I mean, both Hughes and Bartnicki have thrown the ball really well. Of course, Bartnicki's day ending. But this is one of the better Chatham arms they have. RJ Dabovich, a really good fastball and has been really effective so far this summer.
He comes home with a 2-1. Olson swings and sends a deep shot to left center in the alley. Racing it back is Hall, and he makes the grab moving toward the track. That ball was launched off the bat of Jackson Olson toward the alley. But Colin Hall getting on his high horse and tracking it down. Now Olson is gone for the first out here in the 5th.
And he got a good jump, that being Colin Hall. Read it really well, moving to his right in the gap in left center, a little bit back as well. But he had to put on the burners to track that ball down.
So in steps the Clemson Tiger, Bryce Teodosio. And he squared the ball up pretty good tonight. 1 for 1. He had a double back in the 3rd inning. First pitch to him, cut and a miss over the top of a breaking ball. It's 0-1. And for Dabovich, you mentioned the 5 appearances. He's made 3 starts. His last appearance in a Chatham uniform, July the 8th at Orleans. Part of a 6-1 win for the Anglers. Dabovich went 2 innings in that contest, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. 0-1 to Bryce. Breaking ball, called strike at the knees, 0-2. So Bryce looking to make it a 2-hit night. Came into the evening a 163 hitter. The average may not be there, but he's really starting to see the ball well. Dabovich winds and fires. Teodosio swing and a miss, strike 3. Tag applied behind the plate from Smith for good measure. And there's 2 down in the 5th.
Well, Dabovich has a really good breaking ball as well. That one just out in front of the plate. It started up high and had some really good bite. It got Teodosio for the 2nd out.
So back to the top of the order for Jordan Westberg steps in. Nobody on, 2 down. Dabovich recording his first strikeout of the night, courtesy from Bryce Teodosio. Not his 16th on the summer, and Westberg trying to break an 0 for 17 slump. Mississippi State Bulldog digging in for the 3rd time against the right-hander on the hill. First pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Buried one in the dirt again, got Westberg to go after it. Count 0-1. So some regression was expected from Westberg, Lyle, as we've talked about over the past couple of nights. But it seems like he is due to break out at any time. He's got an 0-1 count here against Dabovich. Right-hander winds and fires. Fastball low and away. Count evens.
Yeah, and you know it's going to come sooner rather than later. Just like going 12 for 20 won't sustain forever, neither will going 0 for 17. I mean, he is a really, really good hitter.
He's on Cape Cod for a reason, and he had a blazing hot start. But has come back down to earth, trying to restart himself with a 1-1 count and 2 down. Next offering. Low and inside, down by the shoe tops, 2-1. Now Westberg's average sat at 353 entering the ball game tonight. After an 0 for 2 effort to this point, it's dropped a little bit. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs to go with the average. Dabovich will take a quick step off the back of the rubber before the 2-1 offering. Westberg takes 1 foot back out, quickly steps back in and taps the plate and adjusts the helmet. Dabovich looking to work out of the inning. Westberg sends one on the ground, through and off the glove of the 3rd baseman Villar as it trickles onto the grass in left field. So Westberg will reach first base. It'll be interesting to see how they score that one. It did deflect off the glove of Villar as the left fielder Callie Lau came in to recover. But Westberg standing on the base pads for the first time tonight. That'll bring up Ian Fair.
Well, he hit it hard to the left side, and even if the 3rd baseman Villar had made the play, it would have been tough to retire Westberg at first to begin with. And yeah, they're going to rule it a hit. So Westberg breaks the slump, and like you said, you knew it was coming.
So the 0 for 17 snaps, and Ian Fair steps in with a runner aboard. Watches a breaking ball, a called strike on the inside part of the plate. So Fair tonight has had himself a productive evening. Doubled in the 1st inning in his first plate appearance, and then had a productive out in the 3rd where he picked up an RBI. And that is the lone run on the board so far. 1-0 Hyannis as we sit here in the 5th inning. So Dabovich looking to finish off the 5th inning and be economical and get back to the dugout and give his Chatham bats a chance to come back and even up the ball game. Westberg, a short lead off of first, held on by Wallace. Dapovich gives a couple of peeks, now comes home. Breaking ball, outside corner, a called strike. It's 0-2 to Fair. So for Ian, that average still sitting well above 400 at 478. And again, a rather small sample size, but in his second stint with Hyannis has really opened some eyes. Trying to continue his productive night here at the plate with an 0-2 count against Dapovich. Here's the offering. Westberg takes off for second. Swing and a miss. Strike three through a breaking ball. Second strikeout for Dapovich, and this time it ends the fifth inning. So Hyannis strands one aboard. Still 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth from Veterans Field. Chatham coming back to the plate on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Both teams have worked into the bullpen as Chad Gassman turns to Virginia Cavalier Kyle Witten. Making his 8th appearance in a Harbor Hawk uniform this summer, he comes in with a record of 0-1 and an ERA of 13.5. But he's coming off a splendid performance against the Bourne Braves on July the 10th. And Houston Moore will be the first man to greet him out of the number 9 spot in the Chatham lineup. First pitch from Witten, fastball outside as Morrill squared to bunt, pulls it back, count 0-1. Morrill, a strikeout victim back in the third. There's the third strikeout victim for Jonathan Hughes, who has since exited the ballgame. Witten fires a breaking ball low and inside. Count evens 1-1. Witten has tossed 9 1/3 on his season so far. 7 strikeouts to 8 walks and 16 hits. He's into his motion, a 1-1. Morrill chops one. Olsen up the ladder to grab it. Comes in on the infield grass. Strong throw to first in time to get him. What a play from Jackson Olsen going up the ladder on a high hopper off the bat of Houston Morrill. And that is the first out of the inning, an athletic play. We've seen a few from the Hyannis Harbor Hawks tonight.
Well, there's no doubt about that. We saw the one from Jonathan Hughes, but Olsen right there had to move a step to his right toward the line. Not only make the grab and come down, but then set himself for a strong throw too.
Top of the order as Caden Polkovich steps in and cuts and misses through a fastball. It's 0-1. So Jackson Olsen going up the ladder toward the chalk to get that one and fires across to retire Morrill. One down here in the Chatham half of the fifth. Polkovich 0 for 2 on his evening. Swings at a breaking ball and sends a sky-high pop-up on the infield. Ranging in Westberg as well as Servideo, but it'll be Westberg to call him off and make the catch on the lip of the grass, 2 down. So that'll bring up the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Colin Hall. And 2 down here in the 5th inning. Hall's had himself a 1-for-2 evening so far, seeing Kyle Witten for the first time on the hill. And for Witten, it's been an up and down season, but since returning from a nasty head injury, he has been absolutely dominant in that inning and 2/3 against Bourne. First pitch to Hall, breaking ball called, strike at the belt, 0-1. Gave up no runs on no hits, walked 1 and struck out 1 in that outing. That came on July the 10th out at Doran Park, where Hyannis will travel to twice more this before the season ends. Off-speed delivery, catches the outside corner, 0-2 to Hall. Hall not happy as he steps out and adjusts the gloves and has a few words for the home plate umpire. 1 run on 4 hits for Hyannis, no runs on 4 hits for Chatham, who stands at the plate with Colin Hall wiggling the bat above his left shoulder. Now time's called as he'll step out. And Chad Gassman instilling his trust in Witten on the hill in relief of Jonathan Hughes, who threw the ball exceptionally well. Witten's 0-2. Waste pitch up and away. 1-2 strikes to Hall. Ben Ramirez, who's also at a 1-for-2 night, he's on deck. Base is empty and 2 down in the Chatham 5th inning. Witten trying to wiggle out of it. Into the windup, the 1-2, swing and a miss, a high fastball. Hall goes up the ladder to get it, comes up empty, and Witten records his first strikeout to end the 5th inning. So the Hyannis pitching staff shutting down the Chatham bats to this point, still 1-0 as we head to the top of the 6th here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis back to the plate with a 1-0 lead in the top of the 6th from Veterans Field here in Chatham. Jared DeSantelo, Hunter Goodman, and Trevor Harbor to the plate. The Harbor Hawks certainly with the right part of the lineup up to try and extend this lead against the Sun Devil right-hander R.J. Davovich. Davovich worked an inning, gave up a base hit, but other than that, a very clean inning, racking up a pair of strikeouts in the process. So DeSantelo stepping in for the 3rd time. He's 0-for-2. First pitch, high fastball away. Count 1-0. Davovich in his 6th appearance in a Chatham uniform here in 2019. An ERA of 3 flat. He has been marvelous in his last 3 appearances out of the Anglers bullpen. 1-0 to DeSantelo. Cut and a miss. Curveball just off the end of the bat. A chopper off the inside leg of Smith as he's bent over, hands to his knees behind the plate. And the home plate umpire will walk out Davovich a brand new baseball, giving Smith some time to recover. DeSantelo outside the batter's box. Getting some small talk from first base coach Travis Poole down the first base line. Smith has raised the mask up to his forehead, hands still on his knees. Looks like that one might have just been a stinger. So the count 1-1 to DeSantelo, who struck out in the 1st inning and rolled one over to second base in Morrill in the 3rd inning. Back for his 3rd cuts here in the 6th, trying to break a bit of a slump. His average has dropped down a bit, 333 entering the ball game tonight. He was 3rd place on the average list entering the week. Was trailing only Zach DeLoach of the Falmouth Commodores and Wyatt Young of the YD Red Sox, who Hyannis saw on the 3rd and 4th of July, and boy, was he a thorn in their side. But those two still at the top of the leaderboard. And Max Troiani of Orleans has inserted himself into 3rd as DeSantolo watches a high fastball that goes off the glove of Smith to the backstop. So 2 balls and a strike to the FAU Owl. Again, Hunter Goodman and Trevor Hauver set to follow. Goodman roped a double in his last at bat in the 4th inning, and Hauver struck out twice on this night. The Hyannis bats trying to get something going and played an insurance run against Chatham as we move toward the late innings. Swing and a miss through a fastball from Davovich. DeSantolo a bit behind an 89-mile-an-hour heater. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on, nobody out. In the Hyannis half of the 6th inning from Veterans Field. Lights have been flicked on. Sun has started to set. And a light shade of pink and blue clouds reside beyond the batter's eye in center field. An absolutely picturesque night here in Chatham. Now DeSantolo back into the left side of the box. Davovich, right arm dangling off the hill as he stares down towards Smith for a sign. Sun Devil comes set, kicks and fires a 2-2. DeSantolo cut and a miss. Goes after a fastball out of the zone. Upstairs at the letters, fans through it. So the 3rd strikeout of the night recorded from R.J. Davovich, and that'll bring up Hunter Goodman. But Davovich records his 18th strikeout of his summer here for the Chatham Anglers. Goodman steps in for the 3rd time, a 1-for-2 evening to this point. For the Memphis Tiger DH playing in right field tonight for Chad Gassman in his lineup, but usually resides in the designated hitter slot in the lineup as he swings and misses through a first pitch breaking ball, strike 1. R.J. Davovich, he's got some swing and miss stuff in his arsenal, as evident by the last strikeout to DeSantolo and the 2 previous in the 5th inning. He comes home 0-1 to Goodman, swing and a miss again. Same pitch, same location, same result. Came up empty on a swing and a miss, the count 0-2. But for Davovich at Arizona State in his sophomore season, went 7-1 and racked up 47 strikeouts in 53 innings. But definitely a high volume of usage for the Sun Devil squad this season. 0-2 to Goodman. Breaking ball foul tipped off the glove of Smith as it trickles to the backstop. Count holds. And for Hunter on the season, has walked just 3 times. That's something that is not the name of the game in the arsenal of R.J. Davovich. 26 in his 53 innings for the Sun Devils this season. And on the Cape this summer, he's walked just 3. Goodman into the right-handed batter's box, waves the bat toward the right-hander as he comes set on the hill. The 0-2 offering. Breaking ball outside corner, strike 3 call. Davovich is racking him up in bunches. He's looking really, really good. Back-to-back punch-outs to start the 6th. Here comes Trevor Hauver. So a pair of Sun Devil teammates set to go at it here in the 6th inning with 2 down and nobody on. Hauver's already been a strikeout victim twice tonight. He was both the 2nd and 3rd punch-outs of the Georgia Tech starter Luke Bartnicki. So Hauver tips the helmet toward the right-hander on the hill, taps the plate, and he's into his stance from the left side. First pitch, fastball low and away. And for Hauver on the summer, a .224 average coming into play. He's racked up 11 RBIs, has just 1 home run. That was the grand slam against the Falmouth Commodores back in June. 1-0 from Davovich. Cut and a miss, low in the zone. Hauver went after it, came up empty on a swing and a miss. The count levels 1-1. Anthony Servideo resides on deck should Hyannis extend this top half of the 6th inning. This offense, 1 run on 4 hits. Trying to tack on some more as a 1-1 comes into Hauver. Called strike on the inside corner. That fastball pumped in at 93. A little extra giddy up behind that one from Davovich. He gets off the back of the mound. Taps the rosin bag in the hand a few times before dropping it behind the rubber. 1-2 the count with 2 outs here in the Hyannis half of the 6th inning. A beautiful evening here from Chatham as we move toward nightfall. Hopper steps back in. The next offering from Dabovich. Swung on, fouled straight back off the screen. So Hopper putting up a tough fight. And again, the Sun Devil had a breakout sophomore season, and his numbers on the Cave not exactly doing his level of play justice on what he did in his school campaign. And this summer, he's walked 20 times, so he's shown some excellent patience at the plate. He's got a 1-2 count here against Dabovich. Right-hander kicks and fires. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. Count levels at 2-2. And right there, a tough take from Hopper with 2 strikes. And that really just highlights his ability to draw some walks. And the Sun Devil outfielder has an excellent eye. The 20 walks speak for themselves. He struck out 14 times, but over a slump in the past week and a half or so, it's been all balls hit right at fielders. 2-2. Fastball upstairs. Count runs full. So Hopper 1 pitch away from snatching the lead in the walk column right back from Jamal O'Gwyn, who currently sits in the third base dugout for the Chatham Anglers, not in the lineup tonight for Tom Holliday. Hopper has worked himself back into a 3-2 count. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. R.J. Dabovich, how about it? Give it the tip of the cap. He strikes out the side. 3 straight. He fans Jared DeSantolo, Hunter Goodman, and Trevor Hopper to end things in the 6th. But Hyannis still maintains the lead. It's 1-0. Chatham back to the plate when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back here at Veterans Field for the bottom of the 6th inning, and Chatham coming back to the plate. They trail things 1-0 in the ballgame with Kyle Witten back on the hill for more in his 2nd inning of relief out of the Harbor Hawk bullpen. He'll face Ben Ramirez to start things off in the inning as he fires in a first pitch breaking ball, good for a strike. It's 0-1. Paxton Wallace and Cade Cabin is set to follow. But for Ramirez on his evening so far, it's been a 1-for-2 effort. A single back in the 1st inning and a bouncer to shortstop in the 3rd. Witten winds and fires 0-1 breaking ball. A called strike at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Now, Kyle Witten has looked really, really sharp since returning from injury. 0-2 on the way. Fastball upstairs. Had one to waste. Left it a bit high at about shoulder level of Ben Ramirez, who let it go. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And for Witten on the summer, it's been rocky, but has settled down quite nicely as a 1-2 comes in. Breaking ball slicing down the right field line, dropping just foul past the chalk as it rolls toward the chain link fence. So Ben Ramirez just a bit out in front of an off-speed delivery. He sent it down the right field line, and it hooked just a bit foul. And had it fallen fair, that probably would have been good for extra bases as Hunter Goodman got a late break on it. He was playing a bit shaded toward the second base bag in the left-handed shift. The 1-2. Fastball upstairs again. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that was Witten's Achilles heel through his first few appearances on the summer. The location. And walked 8 and walked 4 in his first appearance against these Chatham Anglers back on opening night. As a 2-2 was grounded toward first. Backhanded stab by Fair. Scoops it up. He'll go to the bag himself in time for the first out to get Ramirez. That'll bring up Paxton Wallace. And we're actually going to get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Alex Torrell. So Terrell steps in. Made an appearance in the ball game last night for Chatham. Picked up a hit in the ball game. It's part of a 6-3 Chatham Anglers win. But right now, a little bit of a different story as we are in the bottom of the sixth here from Chatham. Second game of a home-and-home set between the two squads. An intra-division matchup. A 1-0 lead for the Hyannis Harborhawks, trying to cling to their 7th win of the season. First pitch off speed in for a strike on the other part of the plate to Terrell. So Terrell stepping in for Paxton Wallace, the first baseman. Working ball outside, count evens 1-1. Witten tried to paint the outside black, couldn't do it. So Terrell patiently waiting in the left-handed batter's box. Witten into his windup, a 1-1 pitch. 1-1 fastball popped up onto the shallow center field grass. Moving back on it, Servideo. He's got it on the back pedal. So 2 down in the inning now for Cade Cabanis as Alex Terrell's pinch hit appearance goes for naught. So Cade Cabanis will step up. A 1-for-2 evening for him. The Chatham right fielder came in as a 156 hitter. So struggling a bit with the bat, but boy, did he spray him in batting practice today. Put one up and over the hill that resides beyond the batter's eye in center field, a bit to the right past the light pole. First pitch from Witten. Cabanis goes after it, sends it on the ground towards short. Westberg spin throw. It's going to be high and over the head of Fair and into the Hyannis dugout. Time is called and Cabanis will be given second base. So Westberg made a play up the middle, ranging past the second base bag. Fielded it glove side, tried to spin and plant off the back foot and fire to first. Now, Ian Fair has a 6'6 frame, but he's not that tall as Westberg sailed it over his head. And Cabanis reaches on the E6. Would have been a tough play for Westberg nonetheless, and he tried to set himself and square his body toward the first base bag. But even then, the speed of Cabanis probably would have beaten that throw out. So a runner in scoring position here for Brady Smith as he steps in 0-for-1 on the day. He's also drawing a walk. But Brady Smith got a number off the inside part of the bat, and the athletic play from Jonathan Hughes, if you remember back, that was in the 4th inning. Sprinted off the mound and made a sprawling grab on the first baseline. First pitch to Smith, breaking ball outside corner, good for a strike. So Kyle Witten looking to strand another runner at second base. Chatham has stranded 5 to this point in the ball game. Hyannis has only mounted 1-1-2-3 inning against this Anglers lineup. But the Hyannis hurlers have been able to keep the Anglers off the scoreboard, and that's the most important thing. The Bourne Braves came out victorious against the Harwich Mariners tonight, 2-1 at White House Field. So that one looming large as we move toward the late frames here tonight in Chatham. Witten's breaking ball tails a bit too far out of the zone off the outer edge of the plate. Count levels the ball on a strike. Scoreboard watching a little bit. YD took down the Falmouth Commodores 7-0. That's the 3rd place team in the Western Division. Hyannis looking up at everybody, but the Bourne Braves is who they're staring down right in the rearview mirror. Witten will step off the back of the mound as Smith readjusts himself inside the box. Wareham Gateman took down the Brewster Whitecaps at Stony Brook 8-3. The Orleans Firebirds and Katua Kettleers battled to a draw 6-6 tonight at Lowell Park. 1-1 from Witten. Breaking ball down and away out of the zone. McDaniel swipes it on the backhand. So Brady Smith out of the box to adjust the gloves. Anthony Villar in the on-deck circle. Got 1-1 with 2 down, a man in scoring position. Got him trying to strike back and even up this ball game from Veterans Field. Witten out of the stretch, a look to second, now a 1-1. Fastball just off the outer edge of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Or rather, 3 balls and 1 strike. So Kyle Witten, perhaps Chatham's biggest threat of the ballgame to this point. They had a couple in scoring position a few innings ago, but Jonathan Hughes able to work out of that. Smith swings and sends one back up and over the hill out of play toward the parking lot. So Witten works himself to another full count, this time against Brady Smith. Smith did draw a walk earlier in the ball game, was erased at second base as part of a fielder's choice that the man behind him, Anthony Villar, was able to beat out. 3-2 with 2 down in the Chatham sixth. Witten brings the black glove at the belt, gives a couple of peeks to second, now fires the payoff pitch. Swung on off the mask of McDaniel, up and over the crowd, back toward the hill. Just a bit off to the right. Smith gave a hard hack at that one. It was a breaking ball up in the zone, just getting a piece of it to stay alive as it deflected off McDaniel into the crowd. Now Witten eyeing his second strikeout of his outing tonight. Got a 3-2 count here against Brady Smith, the backstop, putting up a tough fight. The next payoff, 3-2 up high, he walked him. First walk of Witten's outing surrendered. This time it comes to Brady Smith, his 9th of the summer. That'll bring up Anthony Villar with 2 on and 2 down. So Chatham starting to mount a little bit of a rally here in the 6th inning. They've out-hit Hyannis to this point. 5 hits on the board to Hyannis' 4. And for Chatham as a ball club, they came in at 205 hits even. That number now stands at 210. So ever so slowly moving up the Cape League rankings as the first pitch is an off-speed one outside. Roll the ball to Anthony Villar, count 1-0. 83 miles an hour on the off-speed pitch from Witten. Witten's bread and butter has been his fastball all summer long. Sits around high 80s to low 90s. He kicks and looks back the runner at second. That's Kate Cabanis. Chatham trying to give the home supporters something to cheer about here in the 6th inning. Been sitting on their hands all night as the 1-0 comes in. Fastball jackknives the hitter, Anthony Villar, back out of the box. Count 2-0. Now Witten on July the 3rd against YD. Went 1 inning, gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits. Walked 1, struck out 1. And as far as walks to strikeouts go, that's been the line. 1-1 in the last 3 appearances. And one of those coming against these Anglers as Villar swings and sends one sky high off to the left, drifting up and over the grandstands out of play. And that outing on June the 29th came right here at Veterans Field. And Witten was spotless in that outing. Won an inning, didn't allow a run, didn't allow a hit. Walked 1, struck out 1. Matter of fact, Witten's had that line 4 times. June the 19th against Orleans was the first of the 4. And to this point, he struck out 1 and walked 1. Brady Smith, who stands at first. 2-1 to Villar. High chopper on the infield. Westberg ranging in. Fields a glove side. Throw to first. In time to get him. That ends the inning. A big play from Jordan Westberg coming in on the infield grass and a strong throw to first. Helped out by Ian Fair on the receiving end. And Chatham strands 2 more. Still 1-0 Hyannis. Top 7 coming up here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis back to the plate to kick things off in the top of the 7th in search of an insurance run. It's 1-0 here in the top of the 7th from Veterans Field. R.J. Dapovich back to the hill with Anthony Servideo stepping in, Chad McDaniel and Jackson Olson set to follow suit. So Servideo from the left side of the plate, digging in for the 3rd time on his night, and 0-for-1 with a walk to this point. First pitch from Dapovich, swing and a miss, throw a fastball low. That one pumped in at 91 miles an hour. So the Hyannis pitching staff once again rising to the occasion, shutting down this Anglers lineup. But Chatham to this point, credit to them. They've gone toe for toe with Hyannis. Just one run on the board between the two sides as Servideo watches a fastball catch the outside corner. It's 0-2. An insurance run would go a long way for this Hyannis ball club. Has been known to drop some games late. And errors have been the Achilles heel. 0-2 to Servideo. Breaking ball, strike 3. Anthony knew it as he turns and makes the slow walk back to the dugout. As he passes by Chad McDaniel, who'll step in with one away.
Well, my goodness, that is now 5 straight strikeouts for R.J. Dapovich. He is locked in. The Jordan Westberg single back in the 5th was the last time anybody even made contact in play. But since then, 5 straight punch-outs for Dapovich and 6 of the last 7 hitters he's faced.
He has been absolutely rolling as he works from the first base side of the rubber, fires a breaking ball to McDaniel low and inside, count 1-0. And McDaniel on his night, 0-for-2. Sent a fly ball down the right field line to Hyannis and rocketed one at shortstop right at Ben Ramirez. That came in the 4th inning. McDaniel's been seeing the ball well, but just hitting it right at opposing gloves as he waves and misses through a breaking ball, count 1-1. Well, Lyle, there are really no words to describe just how much an extra run would go a long way for this Hyannis ball club. The bullpen down the stretch been known to be not helped out much by the gloves as McDaniel cuts and misses through a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And that's been what's the result of Hyannis falling short in a few of these games late down the stretch over the course of the last week or so. They've had a couple of wins in the palm of their hands, just unable to finish them off. Trying to fend off the Chatham Anglers here on the road as McDaniel takes a 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt. Count levels. Chatham will be followed by Jackson Olson in the inning. He's also 0-for-2. Alex Terrell has taken over defensively at first base. That is a defensive sub that has been noted. So Terrell, who was in the ball game last night, steps in at first. 2-2 offering to McDaniel. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. This is unbelievable. R.J. Dapovich racking them up. Make it 7 and 6 strikeouts in a row and 7 of the last 8 hitters that he's faced. So Jackson Olson steps in 0-for-2 on his evening. And R.J. Dapovich takes a step off the back of the hill and gets a new baseball, rubs some rosin on his left forearm. Olson steps in trying to break a strand of 6 straight strikeouts from R.J. Dapovich, who has been absolutely locked in at laser focus. Pinpoint accuracy as Olson swings and sends one deep in the air to center field, but Hall's got a beat on it. He's over toward the track and makes the grab to retire the side. But R.J. Dapovich, my goodness. 6 straight strikeouts and another 1-2-3 frame make it back-to-back. It's been 6 up and 6 down through the last 2 frames. Still 1-0. Chatham back to the plate in the bottom of the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 7th from Veterans Field in Chatham as Hyannis is out 1-0 with Kyle Witten back on the mound set to face pinch hitter Cooper Davis. First offering, down low, 1 ball, no strikes. So Cooper Davis comes in to replace Kendrick Kalilau. The Florida left fielder's day ends after going 0 for 2, a strikeout swinging and a pop-up to second. Pitch, swinging a fly ball, barely deep right field. Goodman backs up, but he stops, has got a beat on it, and makes the catch in front of the track for the first out. So Cooper Davis gives it a ride, but just not quite deep enough, as that's the first out of the inning. So a fairly long fly out to right puts 1 out on the board for Huey Morrill, Oklahoma State second baseman. Morrill 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. His punch out was also swinging. Kyle Witten has been really rock solid since entering the ballgame. As that breaking ball hits the outside corner, it's 0-1. Witten came in the bottom of the 5th to replace Jonathan Hughes. He's thrown up 2 scoreless frames thus far. He's ready with the 1-0. Fastball high. So 2 1/3 scoreless to this point. Only 1 hit. That came on the infield single from Cade Cabanis. Pitch from Witten. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. So Witten, of course, a bullpen arm for Hyannis. Hasn't made any starts. He's faced Chatham twice already this season. Working from the first base side as he's going to have time called by the hitter, Huey Morrill. And in fact, the first time he faced Chatham, which was back on opening night, was the only decision he's been given this summer, and it was a loss. 2-1. Heater high. That coming in at 88 miles an hour. 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 innings in that June 10th outing. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 4 walks to 2 strikeouts as Chatham took the lead back. Pitch. Swinging a pop-up. Foul. Right side, that'll get out of play. Now, Hyannis had the lead back in that ball game. But the Anglers came all the way back, tied it up in the 9th, took the lead in the 10th, and of course, Cape Cod League games can only go a maximum 10 innings now. And they won that game by a final score of 5-4 back on June the 10th. As Witten's ready with the 3-2 count, he's staring in the hitter Morrill. Rocks and fires. Swinging a pop-up foul over home plate, and it gets out of play again back toward the parking lot. In that Game 1 win for Chatham, they were down by a score of 4-1 heading into the 8th inning, but 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th for the Anglers pushed them out to the victory. Witten back up on the mound, ready with the full count offering, down low, and he walks Huey Morrill. So the Oklahoma State second baseman draws a 1-out walk, and that'll flip the lineup back to the top for Caden Polkovich. So 1 on, 1 away. Polkovich today is 0 for 3. Yesterday, 2 for 4. He had a walk as well, also the RBI double. This time's going to be called. Head coach Chad Gassman makes his way out to the mound. And it looks like he's going to take the ball from Kyle Witten. So his day ends after 2 1/3 really strong innings pitched. His line is still open as he's responsible for Morrill at first. But a new arm coming into the game for Hyannis on the other side of the break. It'll be the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from Veterans Field with one out in the bottom of the 7th. It's a 1-0 Hyannis lead between the Harbor Hawks and the Anglers. And the right-hander Patrick Fredrickson out of Minnesota is set to come into the ballgame for his 7th appearance, 5th out of the bullpen for the Harbor Hawks in 2019. Set to face left-handed hitting Caden Polkovich. As he throws over to first, tag applied by Fair, but back with no problem, the runner Houston Morrill. So for Patrick Fredrickson, 1-1 record, a 7.13 ERA. He's thrown 17 2/3 innings to this point, 11 walks. As he fires home, Polkovich shows bunt, pulls back, and it's outside. It's also struck out 17. And the last time he towed the slab, no question, his strongest outing of the summer. 4 scoreless, giving up 1 hit against the Orleans Firebirds back on June the 11th. Or July 11th, rather. As he fires home, upstairs 2-0. That was part of a 2-0 victory where Fredrickson earned the decision for Hyannis. Picked up his only win of the summer. A 2-0 win out at Eldridge Park, capped off by a Hunter Goodman 2-run blast out to left. Fredrickson takes a breath out of the stretch. He fires home. Swinging a high pop-up on the infield left side. Olsen giving a look. He's over by the Chatham dugout, and he's going to watch it sail into the crowd. So the hitter Polkovich with new life. He's still in search of his first hit today. And he's had clutch RBIs in back-to-back games entering tonight's play. The RBI single to tie things up against the Whitey Red Sox. That contest ended in a 1-1 deadlock between the two. Then the RBI double yesterday. Fredrickson checks the runner, fires over to first. Back safely the runner, Huey Morrill. So Polkovich, a strikeout looking in the first. A ground out to second in the third. A pop out to short in the 5th. And Polkovich, one more time, represents one of the Chatham All-Stars. Fredrickson 2-1. Runner takes off, swinging a line drive into right field. That's going to fall in front of Goodman, a base hit. Morrill slips around the bag. He's going to have to retreat back to second. He does so successfully as the throw comes in late. But just like that, 2 Chatham runners are aboard as Polkovich picks up his first hit of the night.
That's some pretty hard contact off an inside fastball from Fredrickson, just lining one over the head of Servideo and dumping it into right field in front of Goodman. Lucky for Hyannis, Morrill slipped around the bag at second base, having to pull up there. So instead of a first and third situation, it's only first and second.
So now Hyannis pitching coach Ray Corns out on the first baseline, having a word with the home plate umpire. As Chad McDaniels made his way out to the mound to have a conference with Fredrickson, now Corns going to come out. The Chatham threatening here in the 7th. They've out-hit Hyannis tonight. 6 hits. Hyannis with 4. 3 of them have been doubles, and 1 the Jordan Westberg single. So Fredrickson looking to keep the score at bay here for Hyannis in the bottom of the 7th. Kyle Witten's night ends after 2 1/3 innings pitched. However, his line is still open. 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Has not given up a run to this point, but he's responsible for Huey Morrill at second base. So Hyannis has had some gritty pitching tonight. Jonathan Hughes, the starter tonight. Right-hander out of Georgia Tech, went 4 scoreless, 4 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Of course, did not allow a run as the game stands at 1-0 Harbor Hawks. But the meeting concludes. Corn back to the first base dugout. McDaniel back behind the plate. And now Hall's going to dig in from the left side for the 4th time tonight. He's 1 for 3. Single along with a ground out to first and a strikeout swinging. That strikeout coming in his most recent at-bat back in the bottom of the 5th. Morrill off of second. Polkovich off of first. Fredrickson checks the runner. Westberg creeping in. Now the offering. Fastball just upstairs, and it's 1-0. So Fredrickson's faced 1 batter to this point. That came on the 1-out single from Caden Polkovich to right field. Morrill had a chance to go first to third, but slipped around the bag and had to retreat back to second. Pitch. Down low, gets away from the glove of the catcher McDaniel, and each runner's going to advance. Morrill's down to third. Up to second, Polkovich. And now Chatham has 2 runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs. So we'll see how Chad Gassman and Ron Polk opt to shift their infield defense around. Of course, starting to get late into the ball game. A thin lead for Hyannis, and Chatham knocking on the door. The corner's coming in. Fair in front of the bag at first. Olsen more the same at third. Middle infielders even with their bags. 2-0 from Fredrickson. Ground ball nubbed down the third base line. Olsen charging in. Gloves fires to first, and it's way late. First run of the day for the Anglers comes on an infield single from Colin Hall, his second of the ball game. And it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the seventh from Veterans Field.
Fredrickson just a bit unlucky that time. Did what he was supposed to do and got some ground ball contact. The only problem was it was a soft nubber up the third baseline. Jackson Olsen was in on the infield grass, but a very, very tough play having to come in. He probably would have had to barehand it to even have a chance to get a play at the plate.
So now it's runners on first and third. Would have been a really tough play for Olsen to go anywhere. Looked like Huey Moore would have beat the throw easily. Tried to go to first, but Colin Hall beat that out too. So runners on the corners with one down. Fredrickson into the stretch. Takes a breath. Rocks and deals. Breaking ball misses away. Jordan Westberg, the Hyannis shortstop, started to creep in from short. He's now towing the infield grass. But Anthony Servideo, the second baseman, the lone guy playing back. Of course, the double play still intact is now they're just going to opt to put Ben Ramirez on first base. So they're going to intentionally walk the USC Trojan Ramirez. He moves down to first. Hall moves up to second. And now the bases are loaded with one out. So it makes some sense because now the double play is intact all around the infield. And you got a hitter like Alex Terrell up who's got a lot of power, but can be prone to ground into some double plays.
Also opens up the force at any bag, so that makes it easier if you can't get the double play to just get a bag at the closest possible base.
Pitch from Fredrickson. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. It's 0-1. Terrell watches it go by as he's making his second plate appearance tonight. Terrell popped up to second in his last at-bat. Came in to relieve Paxton Wallace after going 1 for 2. 1-1 the score in the bottom of the seventh. Fredrickson's 0-1. Way up high. Shifts McDaniel to his left. Snags it out of midair. Have to reach above his head to keep it from getting to the backstop, but he does so successfully as it's 1-1. So Chatham plates their first run of the day to tie the ball game off the RBI infield single from Colin Hall. Fredrickson looking for a soft ground ball for a double play. He sets right above the belt, takes a breath, now fires the 1-1. Ground ball right side, it gets through, a base hit. 1 run scores. Around third, Colin Hall. Hunter Goodman opting to throw to third, picked out by Olsen, but in and out of his glove. Terrell moves down to second, and he's broken it open for the Anglers in the bottom of the seventh frame. It's an RBI single for the Miami Hurricane, Alex Terrell. It plates 2 from the base paths. Polkovich in from third. Hall scores from second. Moving all the way up to third, Ben Ramirez. And there's runners on second and third with 1 away. It's 3-1 Chatham in the bottom of the seventh. So the Hurricane, Alex Terrell, comes through in a big situation and continues to haunt the Hyannis ball club. Now the hitter, Cade Cabanis. He's 2 for 3 today. Reached on a single and an E6 in his last at bat. So still runners on second and third as Fredrickson fires home. Breaking ball away. Terrell, of course, his only home run of the season coming against the Harbor Hawk Ball Club. That came back at this very ballpark at Veterans Field. So Terrell with a big 1-out 2 RBI single in the seventh. Fredrickson now ready the 1-0. Swinging a high pop-up foul. That'll get behind the plate and out of play. So Kyle Witten started the inning, got Cooper Davis to fly out to right. But Cabanis, the 7th man to the plate this inning. Chatham, 3-1 lead. All 3 runs have come in the bottom of the seventh. 3 hits in the inning as well to go along with 2 walks, 1 intentional. 1-1. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. Count will move to 1-2. So Kyle Witten's night ends, and his line is officially closed after 2 1/3 innings. He will be responsible for 1 run, and it is earned. But 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. The third reliever, or the third arm, second reliever into the game for Hyannis, Patrick Fredrickson, looking to avoid further damage. Chatham with a 2-run advantage. Now the stretch in the 1-2. Breaking ball, lined out to center field. Coming in, Teodosio makes the grab. He's going to opt to fire home. A one hop to the plate, or two rather. No tag applied by McDaniel. He couldn't corral the baseball. Coming home from third to score, Ben Ramirez. He slides in safely. And Chatham's put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 7th. They now lead 4-1.
Well, Hyannis doing what he should have done right there. Took one off the outside part of the plate. Just didn't try and do too much. Lofted one to center field and good enough to score the run from third base. Teodosio gave it a nice effort with trying to show off the arm. But it took a couple of tough hops up to McDaniel with the plate, just not able to corral and apply the tag. That looks like Chad Gassman has seen enough from the Minnesota Gopher.
So Fredrickson absolutely dazzled at Orleans 3 nights ago. But he's gotten roughed up here at Veterans Field as Chatham has put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, and they lead by 3. New arm's going to come into the ballgame. Fredrickson's going to exit for the night. Jonah Scalaro, the left-hander out of Florida State, set to come in. And he'll take the rubber when we come back on the other side of the break. It's Chatham 4, Hyannis 1, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Florida catcher Brady Smith coming to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And with Chatham still threatening, Jonah Scalaro out of Florida State comes into the ballgame, looking to get Hyannis out of the inning. He's out of the stretch. The first pitch to Smith. It's a fastball that misses away. So Chatham has a runner on second. A sacrifice fly in the last at bat from Cade Cabanis. Plated Ben Ramirez from third. For Scalaro, he's making his 5th appearance, 5th out of the bullpen. He's thrown 7 1/3 innings to this point. Checks the runner at second. That's Terrell. Terrell fires home. Foul back, and it's 1-1. So Smith steps out of the box to adjust the batting gloves. For Scalaro, a 1-2 record to this point, a 7.36 ERA in those 7 1/3 innings. Walked 5, struck out 12. Fredrickson done for the night. He threw just 1/3 of an inning, and his line's still open. To this point, 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, no walks, no strikeouts, and open due to him being responsible for the runner Terrell at second. Now time's going to be called. Chad McDaniel's going to walk halfway to the mound, meted at the halfway point by Scalaro, the pitcher, who's got the glove over his mouth, going over the scouting report with the Missouri catcher. But a quick meeting at that. McDaniel back behind the plate, Scalaro back up on the mound. Smith today, 0 for 1 with 2 walks. But he was the culprit of an unbelievable diving catch by Jonathan Hughes. That came back in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 count with 2 away. Scalaro the stretch and delivers. Breaking ball, check swing from Smith. Appeal down to first, and he does not go around according to first base umpire Mike Finn. And Hyannis with more action going in the bullpen. It's a right-hander getting loose down the right field line. But Scalaro looking to finish off the bottom of the 7th. Chatham's put up a 4 spot to this point. Scalaro's got a 2-1 count to his college rival Brady Smith. The Seminole Scalaro fires home. Breaking ball catches the top of the zone. Count levels to 2-2. So these two play in opposite divisions on the Cape League. And of course, opposite conferences during school ball, Florida in the SEC, Florida State in the ACC. But in-state rivals, Seminoles and Gators, a long-time history, and two of them representing the baseball team going head-to-head right here. Scolaro's 2-2. Fastball low. The count will run to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count with 2 away. 4-1 Chatham in the bottom of the 7th. Anglers with 4 hits. And so far, 3 of them coming this inning. They've yet to have an extra base hit tonight at that. Scolaro ready as he checks the runner, fires home. Fastball way high and away, and he loses the hitter, Smith. The Florida catcher's drawn a trio of walks tonight. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, now 1 in the 7th. As he extends the inning, putting runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 away. And it'll bring up another pinch hitter, or rather, this is Cooper Davis, who came in to pinch hit earlier in the ball game. So Davis hitting from the right side. So far today, he's 0 for 1 with the fly out to right field. A pitch in. Called strike, and the count moves to 0-1. Or rather, this is Jorge Hyannis. Apologies. Shortstop out of Stetson. Coming in to pinch hit for Anthony Villar, who started at 3rd base tonight. His day ends at 0 for 3. Cooper Davis led off this bottom of the 7th inning. As Hyannis checks his swing at a breaking ball, peeled down to first, doesn't go around. So Hyannis makes it the 9th man to the plate this inning. Cooper Davis, who awaits on deck, rather, swinging a blue bat from the left side down the 3rd base line. Seeing if this inning will continue. And seeing if he'll get a chance to hit for the 2nd time in the bottom of the 7th. Hyannis comes into the day hitting .280, 14 for 50, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Pitch from Scolaro, ground ball up the middle, diving stop by Westberg, flips to Servideo at 2nd in time. Nice play by the Mississippi State Bulldog. A diving stab moving to his left, quickly rises to his knees, a backhand flip to Servideo at 2nd base, and that ends the bottom of the 7th. But Chatham does their damage in the home half of the 7th inning. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 on base. So we'll go to the top of the 8th inning. Chatham leading 4-1 at home in Veterans Field. We'll be back on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bryce Teodosio, Jordan Westberg, and Ian Fair, the 9-1-2 of the Hyannis order, set to come to the plate in the top of the 8th inning at Veterans Field. With the right-hander R.J. Dabovich back on the mound, he has been cruising. Teodosio, 1 for 2 today, double and a run scored, the only run Hyannis has put up. Pitch from Dabovich, off-speed misses low. Couple of defensive changes for the Anglers in the inning. Jorge Hyannis, who pinch hit for Anthony Villar comes in to take his spot on defense as well at third base. And in the outfield, Colin Hall shifted over to left with Cooper Davis moving out to center. Pitch to Teodosio, called strike, and it's 1-1. So, of course, Kalilau out of the game. That's who Davis came in to pinch hit for. But he moves out to center, which shifts Hall over toward left. And, of course, Alex Terrell was already in the game an inning ago as a defensive replacement at first. 1-1 from Dabovich. Swing and a miss from Teodosio. Another off-speed low. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Dabovich, man, is he dazzled today. 7 strikeouts in 3 innings so far. He's only faced 10 batters, given up 1 hit, but 7 punch-outs. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss, make it 8. Brady Smith moves out in front of the plate, an inside throw to Alex Terrell in fair ground. And that completes the strikeout to retire Teodosio for the first out of the top of the 8th inning. So R.J. Dabovich, 8 punch-outs out of relief for the Anglers. This will bring up Jordan Westberg. And this is not even close. The most strikeouts Dabovich has totaled in an outing this summer. In fact, it's doubled what was previously his summer high. He struck out 4 in 3 innings against Harwich on July the 2nd. 4 in 3 innings at home versus Katuitt on June the 24th. The pitch to Westberg, swing and a miss, it's 0-1. 8 punch-outs tonight for the Sun Devil. Dabovich, 6'3", 215-pound right-hander who hails from Pueblo, Colorado. Now ready with the offering. Swing and a miss from Westberg. And make it 0-2. So Dabovich with some electric stuff when he's really on. Fastball that sits from 94 to 97 can touch as high as 98 miles an hour. We'll also mix in a changeup, a curveball, and a slider. 0-2 with 1 away. 4-1 Anglers the score. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brady Smith, same thing. Outside in front of the plate. Throw to Alex Terrell, and that completes the strikeout. 9 Ks for R.J. Dabovich here out of relief tonight in 3 2/3 innings. This will bring up Ian Fair. Dabovich is unhittable right now. So for RJ on the summer, this is his 6th appearance. Like Brendan said earlier, his 3rd from the bullpen. He's gone multi-innings 4 of his 5 times. Pitch to Fair, swing and a miss. Way late hack at a fastball from Dabovich, and it's 0-1. But Dabovich has absolutely cruised here in his relief outing. Pitch to Fair. Fastball outside. It's 1-1. Now, Dabovich missed some time during the school season. About 3 weeks at ASU as a shoulder injury that occurred out at USC. Sidelined him for a couple of weeks, but he came back on April the 28th out of the bullpen against the University of Washington in Seattle. He's now ready. Pitch to Fair. Up high, 2 balls, 1 strike. So Dabovich has only given up the 1 hit. That was on the single from Jordan Westberg. And in fact, for Dabovich, his season high in strikeouts at Arizona State was 6, which he's done twice. So since entering play at the Division I level and his summer on the Cape League combined, this is the highest strikeout total he's ever accrued. Pitch to Fair, ground ball right at the third baseman Hyannis. Fields it off the glove, throw to first, low but dug out by Terrell. And that's how the inning ends. R.J. Dabovich, 4 innings pitched out of relief, all scoreless with 9 punch-outs. For Hyannis, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Chatham 4, Hyannis 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th set to get underway from Veterans Field in Chatham. It's Anglers 4, Hyannis 1, as Hyannis is set to send in their 5th arm of the ball game, 4th out of the bullpen, as it'll be the right-hander TJ Stewart out of Manhattan. He's making his 2nd stint with Hyannis, 4th appearance coming up on the summer, and 2nd in his 2nd stint. His last outing, inning and 2/3 of 1 hit, no run ball with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts at Spillane Field against the Wareham Gatemen. He's set to face Cooper Davis. First pitch, good for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Stewart on the summer as a whole, 4 innings pitched, ERA that sits at 9 flat with an 0-1 record, 2 walks to 5 strikeouts. Now the 0-1. It's the zone off speed, and it's 0-2. So Stewart looking to keep the score at bay. For Davis, he flew out to right back in his first at-bat after coming in to pinch hit for Kendrick Kalilau. Pitch, swinging a line drive down the left field line. Hover coming over, it drops in front of him. Davis hits the bag at first, gave a hard turn towards second, but sprints back to the first base bag. And the leadoff man is aboard for the Chatham Ball Club in the bottom of the 8th inning. So again for Chatham, just continuing to rack up the singles. 9 hits, all of them 1 base hits. Huey Morrill now the hitter. He's reached base once, coming back in his last at-bat, where he walked and scored. But Stewart, the stretch now offers. Attempted bunt, pulled back as the pitch was low. For Stewart, he was named a 3rd-team All-American at the start of the 2019 season per Collegiate Baseball. 2018 campaign was phenomenal. 63 innings with a 2.57 ERA. Pitch, attempted bunt, pulls back, but called a strike, and it's 1-1. He was named to the 2nd-team All-MAAC squad in both 2018 and 2019, as he's been a buzzsaw for the Manhattan Jaspers in his time there. Stewart hails from Milford, Connecticut, attended Joseph Foreign High School. Time's called. Stepping out of the box, the hitter Morrill to reset. So Stewart, the 5th arm into the game. Patrick Fredrickson, who came in to relieve Kyle Witten after 2 1/3 innings, went a third of an inning. Couldn't get out of the 7th, giving up 3 runs on 3 hits. Then Jonas Galaro threw the final third to cap it off. Now the offering, high fly ball, short down the left field line. Hover coming over, full race, but it drops foul just to the left of the chalk. So Hover gave a full sprint, trying to charge in on it, playing back and a little bit toward the gap in left center. But it drops in foul territory as the hitter, Morrill's going to come back to the plate with a 1-2 count, nobody away. So for Chatham, coming into tonight, they'd won just 1 of their last 5 games. They're 1-3-1 in that time. The 1 win coming just last night at McKeon Park, where they took the 6-3 victory. Anglers 3-0 against Hyannis this summer. Won both games at McKeon Park, won the first game here at Veterans Field 6-1. Stewart throws over to first, dive from the runner, Cooper Davis, but no tag applied by Fair. And it's not like they've been putting up runs at will either. Once again for the Anglers, as Stewart comes set, fires home, runner takes off, high fastball, throw down to second for McDaniel, tag applied, they got him. Nabbed out at second base, the runner Cooper Davis tried to swipe a bag, but a quick tag applied off the hop from Anthony Servideo, and it deletes the base runner for the first out of the inning. So now Stewart can work back to the windup with a 2-2 count. But again for Chatham, the offense has been a little sluggish over the last week for the A's as he steps off the mound. The Anglers have scored 5+ runs just twice in their last 5 games. One of them coming last night against Hyannis. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout of the outing for the right-hander TJ Stewart, and there's 2 away for the leadoff hitter Caden Polkovich. But Chatham, before the game last night, scored 6 runs against the Wareham Gatemen, sticking to the scoring 5+ runs just twice in their last 5 games. They scored 6 runs, but they lost. The final score of that one was 15-6 back on July the 11th, as there's going to be a pinch hitter for Polkovich. It'll be the West Virginia Mountaineer Tyler Dones. He came on as a pinch runner last night for the Anglers. He's going to dig in from the right side of the box as Polkovich's day will end after going 1 for 4. A single and a run scored back in the 7th. So Stewart stretch and fires. Breaking ball catches the outer black. It's 0-1. Doan's on the summer. Coming into the contest, an outfielder for the Mountaineers. As the pitch comes in, breaking ball, that misses well away. Tyler Doan's hitting .260 coming into the contest. No home runs, 3 runs batted in with 7 walks. He's got 2 extra base hits, a double and a triple. 1-1, swing and a weak wave and a miss at a fastball high up in the zone. It's 1-2. So nobody on, 2 down. Chad McDaniel threw out the runner Cooper Davis after the leadoff single. Now the 1-2 from Stewart, just low, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Stewart, once again, in the MAAC, his baseball conference, was one of the best pitchers in the league in 2018. Has put together 3 really strong seasons. Now the 2-2. Swinging a line drive out to shallow center field. Teodosio coming in, dives and makes the grab. What else do you expect? Bryce Teodosio, another piece of defensive wizardry, and that ends the bottom of the 8th inning. Teodosio came charging quickly in from center field. Full extension, lays out, dives, and takes it right off the carpet for the final out. So that ends the bottom of the 8th. TJ Stewart faces the minimum, and Chatham puts up no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the top of the 9th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. To the top of the 9th we go from McKeon Park. Last chance for Hyannis, as the Harbor Hawks are set to send up their 3-4-5 of the order, as Chatham puts in their all-star closer Dawson Merriman, looking to shut the door. Right-hander rocks and deals. Sidewinder fires the first pitch fastball high. Now, we talked about Dabovich being unhittable. We'll get to his final line in just a minute. Merriman is pretty much unhittable. He's ready with the 1-0. Fastball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Merriman, who hails from Midland College, making his 11th appearance of the summer. So far has thrown 10 innings, an 0.90 ERA. Walked 5, struck out 11 with 3 saves to his name. Sidewinder's ready with the 2-0 offering. Fastball hits the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Merriman working very quickly, and again, a very, very obscure delivery as he's got a high leg kick, drops the arm down low, and fires sidearm, which he does right there. DeSantillo swings and chops it foul. Now for Chatham, Luke Bartnicki had a solid outing tonight. He got the start, giving up no earned runs in 4 innings, 1 run in total. Walked 1, 4 strikeouts. But RJ Dabovich was unbelievable. unbelievable. As Merriman's ready, the 2-2. Swing and a miss from DeSantillo, strike 3. Merriman makes it his 12th punch out of the summer. DeSantillo fanned for the first out, and it'll bring up Hunter Goodman. But to get back to Dabovich, 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts in total, not allowing a run or a walk. 13 batters faced in 4 innings pitched, so 1 over the minimum. That came on the hit to Jordan Westberg, but nothing else. Pitch to Goodman. Fastball hits the zone for a strike. Now, Merriman's fastball sitting from the high 80s to low 90s, but very deceptive, also with some good off speed. 4-1 Chatham in the top of the 9th. Pitch, breaking ball, misses low and away, ball 1. So Merriman represents one of 7 Anglers All-Stars that are set to play in the All-Star game out in Orleans a week from today. As Merriman works from the windup, third base side of the rubber. Roxon fires the 1-1. Fastball low. Goodman checks his swing. Appeal down to first. Does not go around. So 7 Anglers All-Stars. Jamal O'Gwyn getting the start. As well as Dawson Merriman taking place in the game. Brady Smith, Caden Polkovich, Jorge Arenas, Ben Ramirez. Pitch to Goodman, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Now, Parker Scott was originally supposed to play in the game for Chatham. He's no longer participating, and he'll be replaced by Colby Kubicek. That's pretty fitting. 2-2 from Merriman. Swinging a ground ball left side, moving to his left. Arenas. Fields out in front, throws across, 2 away. So Goodman grounds out. He makes it a 1-for-4 night despite the 4th inning double. And the last hope for Hyannis lies in the hands of Trevor Hauver. Or rather, they're now going to send up a pinch hitter. It'll be Rigsby Mosley from Troy. So Rigsby Mosley coming in to pinch hit. Last night, he was 2-for-4. A pair of singles, also scored a run. Well, to quickly give you a scoreboard update, Bourne did take the contest 2-1 over Harwich tonight. So Hyannis 1 out away from falling just a bit further back in the West Division. Merriman ready the first pitch. Mosley swings and lines one foul down the left field line, out of play. So Hauver's day ends after going 0-for-3 with a trio of strikeouts. Mosley looking to keep the ball game alive. Merriman ready, offering. Breaking ball low and away. So Merriman in search of his 4th save. All-star closer for Chatham. Gets the sign, rocks and deals. Just down low, 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Chatham coming into tonight, sitting at first place by themselves in the East Division and first place on the Cape with 34 points. Now the 2-1. Swinging a fly ball. Shallow right field. In comes Cabanis. This should do it. Squeezes it, and that ends the ball game. Dawson Merriman picks up his 4th save of the summer. The Chatham Anglers win by a score of 4-1 here at Veterans Field and win the season series with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 4-0.
And really just one for Hyannis again. Another tough one. Seems like we've been saying that an awful lot this summer, but the bullpen just, the wheels falling off later in the ball game. A 4-spot put up by Chatham in that 7th inning, and that's really what did Hyannis in tonight. Patrick Fredrickson came out of the bullpen and just didn't really have it after dazzling in an appearance in Orleans just a couple of nights ago. Lost command of the breaking ball and didn't really have that big bite to the fastball that he usually does. And Chatham squared it up, put up a 4-spot in the 7th to regain the lead and really blew it open with sending 9 men to the plate in that frame. And that's really what did it tonight.
And that's the tough thing, too, because you talk about it. Hyannis had a lead going into the bottom of the 7th inning. They led 1-0 throughout the entirety of the first 6 innings. And then, of course, half the 7th. That's what's tough, too, is it was just 1 inning that kind of came back to bite them. The pitching staff, 8 of the 9 innings tonight, or I guess 7 of the 8 because they didn't pitch in the 9th. 7 of the 8 innings, they were really, really good. It was just 1 inning kind of came back to haunt them, and it ended up being enough for Chatham to take the win.
And I guess the bright spot you could look at is Jonathan Hughes on the hill. He really struggled in his first appearance, and tonight he threw 4 innings of spotless baseball. Gave up just 4 hits, all small blips on the radar, and he got out of a couple of jams. So good to see Hughes locating well and having good command of his breaking balls, but ultimately tonight just not to be for Hyannis on the road.
Yeah, and you have to talk about Kyle Witten too, I think, because this is back-to-back quality appearances he's put in a row out of the bullpen.
Absolutely, and all credit to him where it's due. And he's been absolutely marvelous since coming back from that scary injury, and good for him to see him back on the mound throwing so well.
The tough thing again, though, Brendan, again, 4-1 the final score tonight. Hyannis had just 4 hits. 3 of them were doubles, but just not enough offense strung together here at Veterans.
And you talk about the men left on base throughout the last couple of games. It's been the Achilles heel of the Hyannis offense when they have gotten runners aboard, and they've come in bunches when they have come. But they've been sporadic over the course of the ball game and just not able to drive in when necessary, come up with that timely clutch hit.
So one final time at Veterans Field, Chatham wins by a final score of 4-1. Final lines for each team. The hometown Anglers, who take the win tonight, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They leave a total of 9 left on base. And for the Harbor Hawks, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error. They leave 4 on base. R.J. Dabovich, the winning pitcher tonight, isn't it fitting? The right-hander out of Arizona State went 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 9 punch-outs. The highest total he's accrued at either school ball at ASU or here on the Cape. Patrick Fredrickson suffers the loss tonight. He'll move to 1-2. And Dawson Merriman, the all-star closer for the Anglers, picks up his 4th save as Chatham wins by a score of 4-1. 2 hours and 34 minutes the time at Veterans Field tonight. A rather quick one out east. Game started at 7:02, concluded at 9:36. Tomorrow night, the Harbor Hawks are set to go at it again. So Chatham winning 4-1 tonight. And Hyannis, who now moves to 6-21-1 on the season, looks for a response tomorrow night. They'll play the Falmouth Commodores at home. That was a regularly scheduled off day, but now being made up tomorrow night. First pitch for that one set for 6 p.m. Hyannis and Falmouth set to go at it. But for one final time at Veterans Field this season, Chatham picks up the win. They win the season series between the two opposite division teams 4-0, and a 4-1 game victory here tonight. That'll do it for us. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here with you. We thank you so much for joining us, and tune in tomorrow night back at McKeon Park against the Commodores. First pitch set for 6 p.m. We'll talk to you then.